Welcome one and all to your Monday. Welcome to a Monday. But not just any Monday. One of the best Mondays that ever Mondayed. It's such a good Monday. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to do this Monday. Yeah. What up? What up, everybody? Welcome to the week. Welcome to the Monday show. We've got a lot to go over today. Look, the thing that's on my mind, obviously, and it's on the thumbnail, it's in the title, etc., is the Ahsoka trailer. There was a trailer that dropped in the middle of the night Saturday, or was it Friday? I can't really remember, but a trailer with Anakin Skywalker, maybe even new dialogue. Kind of sounds like new dialogue because it sounds like a 80-year-old Anakin a little bit, but it's okay. We give it a pass. And it honestly got me so damn excited. You know, for the past couple of weeks, Disney's been putting out a couple of spots here and there, and oftentimes, like, we'll be in the middle of a stream, we'll be talking about something, and you guys will be like, yo, new Ahsoka trailer, check it out. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these trailers, they're cool, but they're not, like, doing it for me, right? But I felt like this newest one was kind of special. I also felt like the one with maybe her training Sabine was kind of special as well. And it got me really, really hyped up, so I wanted to talk about the trailer. But beyond just the trailer, I wanted to talk about Star Wars trailers in general, because I truly believe, like, it's not hyperbole, but I truly believe this is one of the best trailers that we've ever had in Star Wars, and I want to watch some of the great trailers from the past. Now, ironically, by doing this, and by talking about great trailers in the past, it will unfortunately become clear that even though this trailer is really awesome with Ahsoka, it doesn't necessarily mean the show will be great. Okay, I think the show will be great. But I mean, you know, just from what I've seen on Twitter and just from what I've seen in the Discord already, a lot of people were talking about a lot of trailers for the sequel trilogy stuff. And look, I'm right there with you guys. I think there were trailers for both Rise of Skywalker and there were trailers for The Last Jedi that were absolutely incredible. In fact, I think the promotion and the marketing for The Last Jedi was absolutely unbelievable. It was unbelievable, and I really, really liked it. And then, of course, we get The Last Jedi that we get, right? So it's a little bit of a weird one there. But I felt like it would be fun, man. I felt like it would be fun to react to a bunch of these old trailers, take us back to the good old days, so to speak. We can even go back and watch some of the trailers from, like, the 80s for the Star Wars sequels. We can even watch the very first trailer for Star Wars ever, which it'll shock you how far we've come when it comes to trailers and all that. But I feel like that would be kind of a fun thing to do on stream. Now, there are a couple other things I want to talk about today. There's a little bit of Marvel news. A lot of rumor and leakage happened over the course of the weekend. Did a video recapping some of that stuff on Saturday. And then we've got a big video coming out about Wanda today. And some very interesting reveals about her, the A38 universe, the multiverse, Kang, etc. That video will drop later today. And that's going to be juicy as well. But I figure we could touch on that a little bit. Some really fun little tidbits here and there. And then there were a couple videos I wanted to react to as well. So there was a video by MatPat, Film Theory, who basically made a video about how Disney is dying. And he is talking about, in the video, I only watched like a couple of minutes of it, and then I was like, yo, let's watch this together with the Nerd Vengers. This is cool, man. This is really cool. He's essentially talking about a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about for like a year plus, right? And a lot of people have seen this writing on the wall. And it's a really interesting video. So I want to watch that. Then there was another video that I want to watch that might be considered controversial. And that would be Corridor Crew's newest video where they did more AI animation. Okay? Now, let's explain why this is controversial and like where this sort of comes from. Okay? So, Corridor Crew did a video a couple of months ago that really set the internet on fire. There were a lot of people upset about the video. The video was about using AI to essentially help them do animation with no knowledge of how to animate and no animators whatsoever. And look, the first video was very baity. I think they said something like, did we just change animation forever, or did we just reinvent animation or whatever, right? And so look, a lot of people got really upset at that first video because, and this was even before the strikes, because people were saying like, dude, this stuff's going to replace humans, like this isn't right, etc., etc. You know, we have talked about this a lot on this channel. I'm not in the anti-AI side of things. I actually do view AI as a tool. Of course, it's an emerging technology that has all sorts of like impact existentially on, you know, what's going on in the market, what's going on with humans. Absolutely. But that always happens with new technology. I am of the mind that AI will democratize storytelling and allow a lot more people to actually put a vision out there of a story. Now, you're going to get a lot of crap. Absolutely. But you will probably get some incredible art that you would not have got otherwise because of the barriers to entry when it comes to animation, right? So I kind of wanted to talk about that. We could do that later on in the stream, and I wonder how people feel about that, because the other side of this, of course, is like, dude, that's bold to put that second video out in the middle of this massive strikes in Hollywood, and the whole discussion of AI is like really like, I don't even know if I would do some shit like that because I just don't want the smoke, right? I feel the way I feel, but there's a difference between feeling how you feel and saying it like with your chest at a time when there are a lot of people suffering and fighting for exactly the opposite of what you're kind of promoting. It's a pretty wild one. So I kind of want to watch that later on in the stream as well. But we'll see. We might have to save some of this for Wednesday. I don't know. It's already getting hot as fuck in this room, so I got to put on that AC for a little bit as well. Now, there are a couple things I need to go over as far as show notes. Most importantly, guys, we're pushing the Nerdvenger stream to Thursday morning. Normally, we do a Nerdvenger stream, and we do it Tuesday morning. We're pushing it to Thursday this week, but there's a very special reason. Liam is 1 year old tomorrow. Can you guys believe that? I certainly have trouble believing it. This year has been, it happened so fast, you know, and it's just so crazy. And I still remember like vividly, you know, obviously like, you know, my wife giving birth and just the whole experience of like being a new dad when we first brought him home and everything. And it's like, for it to be a whole year is crazy. So we've got some stuff planned tomorrow. We also have a big party this weekend for him, but we're going out tomorrow, you know, with my dad. We're going to get him some sneakers for the first time. Guys, we went and got this kid sized, okay? Because we just wanted to see what it would be like, because we want to go tomorrow and get him some sneakers, right? So we got this kid sized. She measures his feet, and she's like, okay, so he's a kid's size 6. Okay. And we were like, oh, that's great. Okay, cool. That's good to know. He might grow a little bit, so we'll get him a 6, maybe go to 7. But he has a birthday coming up, and we're excited. So the lady was like, oh, okay. How old is he? And I was like, oh, he'll be 1 year old. Bruh. Her jaw dropped. And we get this all the time because he's like a mutant baby. He is like a Hulk baby. But to see her face when we were like, he's 1 year old, she was literally like, and like staring at him like dead ass. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So he's a big boy. But yeah, he's getting his first shoes tomorrow, which is cool, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun. But yeah, a size 6 in kids at 1 year old, guys. Just, you know, look, Elise and I are going to, like, feeding this kid for the rest of our lives, or at least until he moves out, is going to be ridiculous. So it's crazy. But regardless of all that, tomorrow we are going out and enjoying that. So, yeah, no stream tomorrow. But I will say we're going to do a Saturday morning cartoon this upcoming... Oh, wait, can I do that this Saturday? I think I can... We're going to have to find a time to do the cartoon watch party, because this weekend there was like all that crazy Wanda stuff, so I had to cover that Saturday morning. And then the problem is we have his party this weekend. I might still be able to stream. Saturday morning. Let's talk about that on Thursday. That's for the Nerd Vengers anyway, but I want to do a Saturday morning cartoon stream. So we'll try to figure that out. Okay. Enough of all that. Let's get in to the news. Yo, I'm assuming that all of you watched this Ahsoka trailer. You know exactly what trailer I'm talking about, okay? So what did you think of this new trailer? And I guess, like, did this trailer, like, increase your hype? Like, am I alone in thinking that this new Ahsoka trailer was absolutely incredible? Maybe one of the best they've ever done for Star Wars? Let's get it pulled up. And I think there's a YouTube version of it as well, right? Should be, yeah? Because I saw the Twitter version of it, which I think is in a different... No, that's not it. One day ago. Is this the one? Ah, yes. Dude, so it's only 45 seconds. It's like a TV spot, technically. Okay. So this is what's wild, man, okay? Because they've put out other trailers for Ahsoka, and I think all the trailers have been cool. The first trailer really did excite me. I was like, damn, that's really, really sweet. But what you're seeing here with this trailer is something that, for the record, I'm absolutely sure Dave Filoni hates, okay? But it's something they did with Rebels and something they've done with, like, some of his stuff in the past as well. And that is that they're like, showing you some of the dope shit right away to get you to check this out. Because, and this was something, again, this was something that happened in Rebels and Clone Wars. I think famously there was a trailer going into Rebels Season 4 that I thought that showed like Palpatine and shit and was like phenomenal. And I think there was a trailer for the Season 2 finale that also kind of like low-key spoiled some shit. And like Filoni hates that stuff. He's very old school with that. He hates it. This is marketing deciding to go for it. Okay? And to be fair, I think they need to go for it because the buzz on Ahsoka has been very mild compared to what I personally think it should have been and should be. A couple of different reasons for this. Number one, obviously the state of Star Wars. It can't be understated just how rough the state of Star Wars and the Star Wars fandom is. Number two, I do think there was limited advertising for it. You know, like the one trailer was cool, but I don't know, it didn't like blow up like that. It only did like 8 million views or something like that on YouTube. Probably did more overall on different platforms, but it hasn't like blown up. Okay, so they kind of pulled out the big guns, bro. Like, many of us already know that Anakin is going to be in the show, and that was reported in the Hollywood trades. God, I want to say over a year ago. I want to say I remember doing a video about that at the old house. So yeah, we've known about this for a long time. And we also know what a lot of these scenes are going to be, right? I'm going to try not to go into like super duper leak spoiler territory here, but we kind of know like what this is, right? But it's different. Rosario did spoil it. I remember that. She was really excited, as she should be. Okay? So we kind of already know this stuff, but there's a difference between us in our sort of fan bubble, and even inside of the fan bubble, there's like the leaking bubble, right? Where we really get into the leaks and rumors. It's kind of a bubble. It is super different than me saying some shit and it being repeated out there or whatever, or like making Star Wars doing a thing and then it gets repeated out there. It's different than putting Anakin Skywalker with new voice lines in the trailer, dude. Like, that is a different animal. And I saw, personally, the reactions I saw were wild. Like, I saw a lot of people that I hadn't even seen talk about Ahsoka yet, like, get really excited about this. And how could you not get really excited about Anakin Skywalker? I mean, even Kenobi, which I think is a garbage show that, like, let's try to be positive here. We don't have to linger on how bad Kenobi is, but I really dislike that show. For the record, let the record show. I despise Kenobi. I think it's goobly glob bullcrap. However, one of the best parts of that show is Hayden Christensen, and he actually does deliver some lines at the end of the show that are unbelievable. There's like actual good shit in Kenobi. It blows my mind. That last episode somehow manages to like put a lot of the toys back on the shelf in the correct way. So that's freaking awesome. And the amount of love that Hayden got from coming back has been unbelievable. And I'm sure you've noticed Hayden's been going around to a lot of Comic-Cons, and he's been, you know, a bigger part of the Star Wars family. And I think, hopefully, what we're going to see in Ahsoka is sort of like justice for Hayden, because Dave just gets it and just gets the Star Wars stuff, and he absolutely gets Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka together. I mean, that is what a lot of his career was literally dealing with these two characters and their relationship, right? So it's unbelievable. And again, to have it in a big trailer that's like actually out there on like network television, social media, you know, and it's like, it's kind of like blowing up, and a lot of people are talking about it. You know, Anakin was trending yesterday. I think it's fantastic stuff. So, with all that said, let's watch the trailer. Let's watch it through, and then let's break down a little bit of what's going on in the trailer. And then I want to watch some of the other fantastic Star Wars trailers that we've had in the past. I just think, you know, for fun. Let's just do it. Let's do it for fun. Turn this up a little bit here. All right, so we'll just watch it through one time, and then we'll watch it through with commentary.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker.
God damn it.
To see what he became.
Ah!
By the end of the
No!
Wars, I walked away from him.
Hang on. So I just got another monitor. Oh, this is not good. Okay. I got to turn the volume up a little bit. We got to restart it. I'm sorry, guys. It's like, for some reason, my cursor is not just fluently going between the two monitors.
Everyone in the Order knew
sucks.
Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts.
Whew.
I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Damn. Okay, so that is literally like, to me, like magic. Okay? And cinema's so cool, man. You know, like, I think a lot of the time we talk about, you know, the lack of great art coming out and great stories coming out of Hollywood, and we've been pretty hard on Marvel, Star Wars, DC, etc. But I think sometimes, like, especially when it comes to Star Wars, because Star Wars is kind of unique in a sense that it started as a cinematic experience, right? And Star Wars really did change cinema forever. And as opposed to like Lord of the Rings, which started with great literature, comic books, which started as like funny books in, you know, the 50s and 60s, Star Wars started out as a movie, and it was always a cinematic experience. That is what created the magic of Star Wars. And it's funny. It's something that Nolan was actually talking about when he was doing the press for Oppenheimer. He was talking about how Star Wars didn't get enough credit for being a true cinematic spectacle, for really creating crazy cinematic experiences with the sound design, with the modeling, with the digital effects, with all the different things that Star Wars does. It really like took you on a ride. And that John Williams Star Wars music, I think there are probably fans out there that are so bitter, so upset, so disappointed with Lucasfilm, so jaded, and actually I get it, right? I don't know if there's anybody more frustrated with the current state of Star Wars than me, but I think there are fans among those people that will still just, when you put a John Williams score on, you put on some Star Wars music, or if like the OT's on TV or something like that, it still resonates and it still moves them, and it reminds you of your first experiences with it, the sort of imprinting of Star Wars onto you when you are a younger person, or, you know, even if you're an older person, but you're kind of like, you know, younger in spirit or whatever, like the kid inside you or whatnot. It's crazy. And I say all that to say that this is a fantastic fucking trailer, dude, because it's making me feel shit. My heart has grown 3 sizes larger, and it's like de-thawing my cold soul, and I feel warm and good inside. Yeah, man. Fucking yeah, man.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker.
Okay, let's talk about this. So I saw some people online, you know, retractors saying this is dangling the keys. And to a degree, yeah, for sure, it's dangling the keys. But I mean, these are some cool fucking keys, man. And with this show in particular, it is so obviously about Anakin Skywalker, because the reason we are so endeared to Ahsoka as a character is because through the lens of Ahsoka, we get to learn and we get to know Anakin Skywalker at like a more intimate level. And a lot of people will tell you it's the Clone Wars television show that like makes them understand Anakin in the prequels more, that gives them more of an appreciation for that character of Anakin, because George, I think, took some certain things for granted in those movies, and some people would tell you didn't necessarily earn some of the turns that happen with the Anakin character. And so Ahsoka's entire like thing is predicated on Anakin. That is why she is such a beloved character, and it's fascinating that, you know, just going into this trailer with Baylan, right, saying to her at whatever that place is with like the digital map in the background, right, everybody in the Order knew of Anakin Skywalker. And that idea is so true, but it bears reminding at a time when there are no longer 10,000 Jedi, where they're a handful, a sparse few. And Baylan actually has something in common with Ahsoka, and that is that they are these Jedi that survive Anakin, that remember Anakin and remember the Jedi Order. And so this, to me, even though it's just put together in like a nice little 45 seconds, the sort of emotional journey that I'm personally being taken on within 3 seconds of this trailer is really, really powerful. Let's watch it again.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
And then, of course, Vader. Like, you can't have Anakin without Vader. The whole story is predicated on him turning to the dark side. And yeah, so we have this scene of Anakin coming up, and few would live to see what he became. And although we don't see it in this actual trailer, it's implied by not only what comes next in the trailer, but just by what the setup is from Baylan, that I think Baylan is going to try to put some guilt on Ahsoka, or basically like try to make it a little bit her fault, right? Try to like make her feel responsible for what it was, right? Because we've heard him say like Anakin always spoke highly of you, etc., etc. Everybody in the Order knew Anakin. It feels like the other shoe will drop, and he'll kind of be like, why didn't you stop him? You know what I mean? Or something like that. Because Baylan also is a survivor of Order 66. So the Emperor, the Empire, and Vader tracked down and slaughtered all of like his people, his tribe, the Jedi. And so there's like a lot going on with this character and with this scene, and I absolutely love the intro.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi. And remember, in the second season of Rebels, that finale, which is on Malachor, there's Maul, Vader comes. It's absolutely phenomenal stuff. If you've never watched the season 2 of Rebels, the ending of Rebels, highly recommend it. It's incredible. But that fight between Ahsoka and Vader, like, it begins with Ahsoka saying, I'm not going to leave you this time. I'm not leaving you again. You know what I mean? And it's like, so she feels that her leaving is partially responsible for Anakin. Now, without getting into too many spoilers, unless you guys are comfortable with it, unless you guys want to get into spoiler territory, you let me know what do you think, chat, and let me see what you're saying. Without getting into too many spoilers, there will be a part of the show. I'll keep it vague. It seems like people don't. It's a mixed bag. I'm going to do a whole video just for the record. I am going to work on a video that talks about everything we know from the leaks. There's a lot of mystery still for the show. There's things that we don't know, but there's a lot from the leaks that we do know. So I'll do a whole video on that. We'll keep it vague today. We don't have to go into deep spoilers, okay? There is a part of the show that I think is going to explain to Ahsoka in no uncertain terms that Anakin turning to the dark side was inevitable, and that there was nothing she could do to turn him. And in fact, she may possibly see a scenario play out in which she had stayed. And it still doesn't end well. So maybe that's the best way I can say it without going too crazy into the spoilers. Like that's something that she will learn in the show. Okay. Let's keep going though, but the main thing to keep in mind here is like this scene here, right, where she's saying this.
In the Clone Wars, I walked away from him.
This looks to be in the ship, probably surrounding the training of like Sabine as well. And this is something that she's talked about before. I think there was a moment in the last season of Rebels where they're watching a hologram of Anakin, and Ezra's like, yo, like, this dude looks dope. Like, this dude was crazy, etc., right? And I think Ahsoka's like, yeah, you should have seen him in person or something like that. There are also parts in Mando where she says, I've seen what feelings like this can do to the best of us, speaking of Anakin, because Anakin was the best Jedi. I know that's something Davis talked about, and I know that that's like another controversial thing in the fan base, but like it really shouldn't be. Like the whole idea, especially from a mythic storytelling perspective, is that the greatest Jedi Knight there ever was turned to the dark side. That's what it is. That is the story. So for people to be like, but he killed kids and did others, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, that's part of it. That's the fucking tragedy of the greatest Jedi ever falling to the dark side. Don't you understand the tragedy? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? But this appears to be from a scene in the ship where she's also talking about Anakin and walking away. So it's very much a heavy weight on her shoulders. The guilt she feels about Anakin is still weighing on her. It's a big motivating factor for what she's doing.
And the Jedi.
And that fight between them, I mean, it's going to be so damn cool, not just from the perspective of, like, sweet lightsaber fight, which I believe it will be, but also, like, two Jedi lived a long time, survived Order 66, you know, looking back, kind of having beef. There's a subtext to that fight. There's a really important subtext to it that I think is going to be really meaningful and fun. So I'm all in, man.
In this war, you will face more than just droids.
Okay, and then we're getting the Anakin line, okay? And this line to me feels, and you tell me if I got this one, chat. These lines feel like from season 7 of the Clone Wars, where Anakin is training Ahsoka. Do y'all remember that? Where basically you've got a thing where there's a training droid simulation, and she's passing it and everything, and then they walk. Is that in Tales? I thought that. Oh, you're right. It is in Tales. but it comes into play in season 7 when she's able to do the spin moves and deflect all of the blasts from the clones that turn on her. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's in Tails. But there's that droid sequence. Anakin's, she's like, how do you think I did? Anakin's like, man, fuck these droids, bruh. Like, let's get you some real shit going on. And then, like, all the clones line up and they're, like, knocking her out. Do you remember that? It's crazy. Super fun. So I think that's what this is from. Kind of interesting. Dave is a real interesting way of laying out breadcrumbs and sort of tying stories together. I really like it. I enjoy it. So that's what I think that line is from. And so the question is, like, are we going to see a version of that in the show? A flashback to it? Perhaps even seeing it through World Between Worlds or something like that? But yeah, absolutely fascinating. And I know Anakin sounds much older. Okay? He does sound older. It is a little weird. But the cadence, the delivery, perfect. Perfect, man.
As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you.
As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. Like, the cadence, like the way he delivers it is perfect, man. It's like, that is clutch. Sounds perfect like Anakin to me.
I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts.
Don't be afraid and trust your instinct. I mean, it's perfect.
I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Yeah, so good. So good. Yeah, man, I really dig it.
Ahsoka.
Now, another thing that people are bringing up here is like this. She's going to be trying to like catch the saber or whatever because she's going to have like a burn on her hand, or she got like wounded on her hand. Notice also that she only has one saber here, so it's possible the injury was due to disarming her or like taking away the other saber or something like that. But yeah, super cool, man. I just feel like the way that Anakin's lines hang over this thing and the way you cut with the action, very impressive, and it just really evokes this whole sense of like, yeah, this is Anakin's Padawan. Like, we're like watching, perhaps right alongside Anakin in the Cosmic Force, what his Padawan's doing, and someone that he really, really like loved, because it's interesting, like Anakin, as much as he gets one last thing with Luke, at that point it's like really Luke's story, and like Anakin is saved, but it's not like he gets to go play catch with Luke or like have any kind of experience with Luke. And so that's what's interesting about Luke as a character, is like he sort of has to build himself up, without his dad and find meaning like on his own. But Ahsoka's different. Like, she was really loved by Anakin. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely. And, that proxy and sort of like watching her continue on is a little bit more meaningful, I think, to the journey we have been on as fans with Anakin. You know what I mean? Through all the movies, through all the shows and everything. And I think that Star Wars still is about Anakin. And so this trailer, to me, it works, bro. It works for me. I'm excited about it. What do you think, chat? And why can't I just get my cursor over here? It's so stupid. What do you think? Here's the question. Is this the greatest Star Wars trailer of all time? It's number 5 on trending right now. Is this the greatest Star Wars trailer of all time? Nah, it's awesome though. No. It's literally just Anakin talking. Fuck you, Agent Llama. Punk ass bitch. Say it to my face. I mean, agree to disagree, I guess. Watch the trailer for A New Hope. Funny you should say that. Let's take them back to the 70s. See how this shit goes. God damn it.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now. 20th Century Fox and George Lucas, the man who brought you American Graffiti, now bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Here they come. Coming in too fast!
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe.
Oh shit, the needle! Oh fuck no!
It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance.
Rebellion and
It's a
romance.
spectacle, light years ahead of its time.
I am C-3PO, human-cyborg relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello.
Oh shit!
It's an epic
What was
of
that?
heroes.
What was that?
Good luck.
And villains
Damn.
and aliens from 1,000 worlds.
So far, so good on copyright. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Star Wars, 1 billion years in the making, and it's coming to your galaxy this summer.
Okay, so let's watch this again from the perspective of somebody in the 70s. There's no John Williams music, you right.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now.
Oh shit, it's like it's something in space, like 2001. Spaceship. Whoa, what the fuck was that? Oh my
20th
god!
Century Fox and George Lucas, the man who brought you American Graffiti.
I
now
liked
bring you
American Graffiti. That was a good one with the cause.
An adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Here they
What
come.
the fuck is a Star? What? Who's the monkey? Oh my god! What was that? Laser beams! Holy shit! Holy fuck!
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe.
Oh fuck! They have heroin in the other guy. Oh no! Fuck! Shit. Oh, there's the monkey again. What's the deal with that
Sprawling
monkey,
space saga
John?
Of rebellion and romance.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Look at the lasers!
Light years ahead of its time.
I am C-3PO, human-cyborg relations,
They got a gay robot? I mean, okay, I guess.
and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
It's an epic of heroes.
Oh shit! Laser beams! Rope!
Good luck.
Did they make it?
Villains.
Oh fuck. Who's this guy?
And aliens from 1,000 worlds.
1,000 worlds? Oh my god! What the fuck is that? A laser sword? Holy shit! That guy went up a butthole. I don't. Whoa! Oh shit! Oh my god! More monkeys in hoods.
Star Wars.
Holy shit!
1 billion years in the making, and it's coming to your galaxy.
Oh my god!
This summer.
John, we gotta go see that shit. Holy fuck! That's what they're doing with the movies? That's what they're doing with the movies these days? Holy shit. That shit probably slapped when you were in the 70s. I'm gonna be honest. That was probably like crazy. So, it's kind of interesting to see how far Star Wars trailers have come. You know what I mean? That's the very first Star Wars trailer. And the most recent shit with Ahsoka, I mean, man, come on. That's some vibes, bro. That's some good vibes. So it's interesting. Okay, what are some of the other best trailers of all time? I think many people have the Chewie We're Home trailer up there as one of their best ever, yeah? Throw a 1 into the chat if the Chewie We're Home is the best trailer. It's technically the Force Awakens official trailer teaser number 2. 83 million views. Holy fuck, bro. All right, y'all ready for this one? Man, do y'all remember watching this trailer for the first time? I mean, that's a dope opening shot. The pan over the massive ship sunk in the desert.
The Force is strong in my family.
Oh, dude, hearing Luke say this shit. Oh, fuck! Vader's helmet!
My father has it.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Remember that? Thinking Luke was gonna, like, do shit?
My sister has it. You have that power too.
Oh, man. X-Wings! Oh my god. Holy shit, who's that? A black stormtrooper! Wait, he's not a stormtrooper?
Chewie, we're home.
Oh, fuck, man. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, shit. The good old days. Yeah, that shit still slaps. Ah, man. Okay, so let me take you through this. Remember, I just want to take you back to what it was like. Okay. So, let's just go all the way back to what the mindset was back then. And also, what the fuck is going on with my hair today? Shit's crazy. Oh, well, fuck it. Okay, so let me take you back to the mindset back then. And shout out to Christian Harloff. Shout out to the Jedi Council crew from back in the day. How many of you guys got in to, like, Jedi Council around this time and you were watching those videos and those streams and stuff and just being, like, super excited for all of that? I remember in particular, man, it was one of the Jedi Councils where they were talking about like all these theories about Luke and stuff like that, and it was like, oh, that was really, really cool. Harloff had a meltdown. That was years later, and let's be fair, all of the Star Wars fans have had a meltdown. Let's just be fair. But let me take you back to the mindset back then. So we're all like, oh shit, so Luke is on Tatooine or something. Oh man, I wonder if, like, is that like Vader's ship, or is that like a ship from Endor? Is this Endor? But I thought Endor was like a desert planet. Is that Luke's X-Wing? That's what the thought. That's what the mentality was. Yup.
The Force is strong in my family.
And then hearing the Force is strong in my family, and then like seeing the Vader helmet and everything, and you're just like, oh man, this is fucking crazy.
My father has it.
My father has it. Oh man, Luke and R2 and some fires and flames and stuff. It's just like him over like Vader's body and shit like that.
I have it. My sister has it.
Leia has the saber? Oh man, that's crazy.
You have that power too.
You have that power too? Is this Luke's kid? Bro, Luke's got a kid? Oh my gosh. Oh my God, X-Men, is that Luke's kid? And then remember, okay, so a couple of things. This, people were like, oh, this is Luke Skywalker. Do you guys remember when people thought Kylo Ren was Luke Skywalker? I'm triggering you? I'm sorry. Do you remember? Remember when people thought Kylo was Luke Skywalker? What? You don't remember that? Bro, it was a huge theory. It was a massive theory. People were like, dude, it's Luke. It's obviously Luke. Yup. Oh shit, remember this, staff? This is Plagueis. This looks like Plagueis' staff. This is Plagueis' staff. This is obviously Plagueis' granddaughter or something attached to Plagueis. Y'all remember the staff is Plagueis. Yep, everybody was like, that's Luke. Oh man, the speculation on Phasma was crazy too. Oh, the speculation on that was crazy. And that should, yeah, that was just crazy. People loved that. So people were saying Han's had kids. People were saying Luke had kids. People were saying Plagueis was in this. That Luke maybe had gone to the dark side. There was all sorts of crazy speculation, man. I just, those were the days, baby. Those were the days. And then after the movie came out, you know, speculating about Snoke and, you know, all of that. And then for whatever reason, and this is real talk, by the way, we're trying to have a fun stream here, so I'm not going to like get into all the Lucasfilm nonsense. But I mean, what a boneheaded decision for them to try to diminish or crap on fan theories. Like the whole fandom was surviving and thriving off speculation and fan theories. And it's like all of them decided at once, fuck that. I don't like y'all having fun. And like in a lot of ways, episode 7 feels like, oh, you thought that was really cool? Fuck you. Oh, you thought this might happen? Fuck you. Oh, you like this? Fuck you. Like that's what it felt like. And that was a mistake. You know, I'm just gonna say it. That was not a good choice on their part. Okay. Now, what are some of the other trailers? What are some of the other best Star Wars trailers ever? There was one. I know there were a couple Last Jedi ones that were like fire, yo. You know what I mean? Where was Rebels Season 3? I'm down to watch some Rebels Season 3, but let's stay in live action for now. The Last Jedi. But which one was it? I remember it was the one. It was teasing Rey. It was like one of the last ones. It was teasing Rey like taking his hand and turning. What was it? The Last Jedi trailer. Let's see what they got. Is it the official trailer? This might be it. I think this might be it, y'all. Let's watch this one and see. I think this one might be it. Let's check it out.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power.
Oh my God, this trailer's so good. Why'd they fuck it up?
Something truly special.
Yeah. Oh wait, what? Y'all can't see?
Something.
All right, let's start it over.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something special.
Something inside me has always been there.
This trailer's tits,
was
bro.
awake.
This trailer's fucking awesome.
And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then.
Damn.
It does now. Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
That's such a good tense moment. Oh shit, it looks dope as hell.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the first star.
God damn it. Why would this movie?
This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
And then it shows Kylo. Yeah. And it teases that. Yeah, dude. Oh. Bro, this trailer is fucking phenomenal. And I just remember being so excited, so hyped up for what it was going to be, the potential. And it's sad because, like, you can see in the trailer, they've got a lot of the right stuff in there. There's, like, the subverting expectations, which was horrible. There's the weird humor that was injected by Ryan. And then ultimately killing Luke Skywalker. I think if you rein Ryan in a little bit, cut out some of that humor, and don't kill Luke, the party would have kept going. Like, you would have had people not liking certain decisions. And it's different. So you're always going to have, like, you know, a division when you do something, like, bold and different. But, like, I truly feel like Ryan went way too far. He was not reined in at all. And Ryan was Ryan Johnsoning all over this shit. It's just like, we were so close to greatness, and yet the brand has literally never recovered from this movie. I know some people don't like to hear that. I know some people love the movie. Totally cool, man. The Star Wars brand has never recovered from what this movie did to it. Because think about this, and this I think is like the best way to explain this to you guys. Think about what we just watched with the Force Awakens trailer. Think about what we just watched with this trailer, and think about your feelings from that time. Think about how you were engaging with Star Wars and Star Wars fans on social media at that time, and then think about the immediate fallout for this movie and the lead up to Rise of Skywalker. I'm sure you can tell that there was different shit going on. So, like, this is the least toxic way I can say this. They fucked it up, and this movie, which should have been incredible and held a lot of promise, just went too far in some of the worst possible ways, and the brand has still never recovered from it. So kudos to this trailer. I mean, I thought it's a phenomenal trailer. It's like I can almost see the better version of The Last Jedi in the trailer. Like, you can almost see it in there. But it just wasn't executed and put together the proper way. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, what's some other ones we want to watch? What's some other trailers? Somebody said The Phantom Menace. Is that a really good one? Phantom Menace trailer. Let's watch it. Every generation has a legend. Every journey has a first step. Whoa. Ah, shit.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
He can see things before they happen.
He can help you.
The Force is unusually strong with him.
He was meant to help you.
Anakin! Tell him to take off!
Will I ever see you again?
What does your heart tell you?
Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know?
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Nice.
I sense much fear in you. The boy is dangerous. They all sense it. Why can't you?
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Oh, shit. Pretty good trailer. It's a little like all over the place if I'm being honest with you, but I think so how many of you guys out there have watched the documentary The People vs. George Lucas? And I think I remember that being better. Yeah, well, of course, we all remember that a little bit more fondly in our past. So I think didn't Red Letter Media make that documentary, The People vs. George Lucas? If you've never seen it, it is a pretty good watch. But one of the things they talk about in there, and this was like, I know, like, guys, do me a favor. We're among friends here. It was not Red Letter Media? Okay, I thought it was them. Anyway, guys, don't tell Theory about this next part, okay? Let's keep this amongst us, you know? Don't tell Theory this, because he I don't know, he'll freak out, okay? But the prequels were a massive disappointment for people, okay? And in this film, The People vs. George Lucas, it is kind of incredible because they interview a ton of people after watching the movie. And, bro, people were furious. Like, they were fucking mad, dude. And I remember, too, it talks in the documentary of people that were mad, but just kept going to see it. Like, this one guy talks about it. He's like, I hated it, but I knew I had to keep watching it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I wasn't in the right state of mind. And they would just keep going to see it and, like, trying to convince themselves that it was good. I think this also happened with The Last Jedi a little bit, too. Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. But looking at this trailer, like, I can kind of get it because the trailer puts a lot of those things in front of you, but they don't, like, you don't have context. So you're just like, oh, like, dude, double-bladed lightsaber? Dude, crazy spaceships? Anakin Skywalker meeting Obi-Wan? Like, all of these dope things, right? And so, like, it got people really, really excited. I'm telling you, man, when people saw this movie, they lost their minds. I know some people think, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was overblown. There wasn't a lot of hate. Guys, there is a famous... I forget what it was. It must have been either an award ceremony or something for George Lucas's birthday. And there is a video of William Shatner doing a bit. And in the bit, because they're talking about, like, doing it your way, the whole idea of the bit was that basically George, the presumed, like what people thought had happened, was basically George didn't give a shit how Star Wars fans felt about this, and he was just telling his story. Okay? And it's really crazy because Shatner's like kind of going in on him and everything, and then he says, "But I like that Sith picture." Because, like, Sith was good. People really like Revenge of the Sith. But, guys, back then, you got to understand, people fucking hated the prequels. Like, hated them. I would argue it's just as bad as the sequel hate. It was that bad. It might have even been a little bit worse because there was sort of like this purity of Star Wars, and people just couldn't believe that it was George that was doing it. You know what I mean? So, like, now with like the hate of the sequels, like we can project that onto Disney, we can project it onto Ryan and Kathy, rightfully so in some ways. But back then, tough pill to swallow that the man that made the shit that had you as a 40-year-old adult dressing up with a laser sword and standing out in front of a theater for days to get in. Yeah, that same guy did a fart joke with Jar Jar in front of Anakin's face. That same guy made a movie where Anakin Skywalker doesn't even enter the film until 45 minutes in. And if I'm being honest, at that point, you have no idea who the main character of the movie is. That same guy peeled back the layer and showed you what the Jedi were like before the Republic fell. And he literally made them all the exact same character. So there were a lot of things people were very upset about when it comes to the prequels. Now, having said that, guys, I love these fucking movies, dude. I was way too young to get any of that shit. I loved it. I thought it was amazing, dude. I saw this shit so many times. I got all the toys. I loved it. And to this day, I really like the movie. I don't really like the second one, Attack of the Clones. Can't really get into it. But I like the first one a lot, and I really like Sith. Like, Sith is incredible. But make no mistake about it, guys. This was a huge, and like, it was rough for everybody. Like, it was a crazy time. People were furious about the prequels. It was so bad that Disney was shell-shocked. When they bought Star Wars, they were like, we cannot make any of that prequel shit, though. Like, they didn't want to touch it. They didn't want to act like it existed. And, you know, JJ is one of those fans that hated the prequels. Up and down. Hated them. And only likes the OT and everything like that. So you could kind of see that a little bit of PTSD from even Disney's perspective, right? Because they were all like, oh, my God. And by the way, KK was probably pretty intimately aware of how bad it was because she was like, you know, working there and shit. And, you know, helping George and Steven Spielberg, etc. Okay. What's the next one? What's the next trailer? Watch the new Ahsoka featurette. What? Didn't we just... We watched Ahsoka stuff. Which one? Revenge of the Sith final trailer. Okay, let's look that up. Let's check it out. Revenge of the Sith. I think this is the one.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
The Council wants you to report on all the Chancellor's dealings.
That's treason.
We are at war, Anakin.
Oh, shit, I remember seeing that.
Very dangerous putting them together. I don't think the boy can handle it. I don't trust him.
I need your help, son. I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
What? Obi-Wan and the Council don't trust me.
Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
You're under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
Oh, shit. That was crazy. I like that. Aw, shit. This is a good trailer. That last bit was cool.
Every single Jedi is now an enemy of the Republic. Do what must be done. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
Who could have done this?
Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become.
I feel so helpless.
You were the chosen one!
Damn, dude. Shit is hype. Man, and you know what's crazy too is I remember back then, a lot of people thought you were going to get a lot of that movie with him in the suit. They were like, oh, dude, this last one's going to be crazy. They're going to show how he becomes Vader, and then he's just going to be in the suit. He's going to be kicking ass the whole time. Oh, my God. And then, like, you barely get that shit, right? I also remember that there was message boards back in the day that actually were pretty popular. Kind of predates, like, Reddit and Twitter and all that, right? And I remember it coming out that there was going to be, like, a 20-minute lightsaber fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan. I remember that shit leaking before. It was like I was like in high school, man. I remember I was in like a computer programming class, and there was one guy in there that was like in the scene, and he was like explaining it all to us, and I was just like, oh my fucking God, bro. 20-minute lightsaber fight? Oh my God, bro. It's good shit. Yeah, a very good trailer. Much better than the Phantom Menace trailer. Holy shit. All right, what other ones you guys want to watch? Let's watch a couple more, and then let's look at the comments here. People are like, this isn't a trailer, it's a summary of the whole movie. It's ridiculous how they actually spoiled everything that was there to be spoiled. Dang, dude, that's like, that. All the comments are like that. That's crazy. Rogue One? Rogue One? Which trailer? Is it the final trailer or the whatever? Let's just see. Rogue One. The official trailer? Damn, it's got a lot of views.
The world is coming undone.
Hang on, let's get the proper experience.
The world is coming undone. Imperial flags reign across the galaxy.
Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
We've a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
That's a really cool shot.
If you're really doing this, I want to help.
Good.
So much of this isn't even in the movie, too.
Good. I've been recruiting for the rebellion for
like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there's a lot that's in here that's not in the movie.
I fight the Empire now.
I fear nothing. All is as the Force wills it.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks. There isn't much time. Every day they grow stronger.
That shit's dope.
There is a 97.6% chance of failure.
He means well.
This is our chance.
That shot's incredible. I like it. Oh, yeah, dude. Shit's hype.
Are you with me?
All the way.
That's a damn good trailer. With that little end to with Vader. Oh, damn good trailer. Damn good trailer. I like that. That was good. And by the way, still probably the best movie Disney has done so far with Star Wars. Rey's theme, Force Awakens trailer. I do like Rey's theme. There's a Rise of Skywalker one I want to watch as well. Mando Season 2? Really? Did that have a really good trailer? Rebels 3 is the best trailer by far? Rebels 3. Let's see. Rebels Season 3. Let's check it out. Oh, shit. This was a good trailer. I remember this one with the Sith Holocron. Woo!
Ahsoka!
Oh, dude.
Ahsoka!
Chills.
Battles leave scars. Some you can't see.
I will never let my friends get hurt again.
The holocron.
Oh,
I'm afraid
shit.
it's changing him.
What if there are secrets we can learn from it that'll help us destroy the Sith?
Ezra, the secrets in that thing almost destroyed you.
There are Imperial cadets at the Sky Strike Academy who wish to defect to the rebels.
This is Ty SS-25. You can call me Wedge.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Still can't believe we're here to break this guy out of prison.
Hondo!
My friends! I give to you Reclaim Station.
If we could steal a squadron's worth,
They would be key to building a strike fleet.
Let's go get them.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Let's go. One last glorious day in the Grand Army of the Republic.
Flying stormtroopers?
Worse, Mandalorians who serve the Empire.
Damn!
You haven't forgotten our ways. That has earned my respect.
so what's in it for you two?
Riches untold, that sort of thing.
So, we'll split the treasure.
Split the treasure. Oh, that's a classic.
Oh, little Thrawn tease.
Price. These rebels have proven particularly stubborn. How do you intend to solve
With
this
the
problem?
organ playing.
I need someone who sees a bigger picture.
The Empire is getting better at anticipating our moves. I underestimated the commander. Previous attacks were clumsy, but this one was swift, precise.
To defeat an enemy, you must know them.
Oh.
Not simply their battle tactics, but their history, philosophy, art.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Caravast. Embrace your destiny.
God damn, this show
Jedi
slaps.
and Sith, the light and the dark.
I'm the one in the middle, the Bendu.
Once a secret is known, it cannot be unknown.
Your anger gives you strength.
I will pull the rebels apart piece by piece.
I must become more powerful.
They'll be the architects of their own destruction.
Ezra, turn away before it's too late!
Damn, that's a good trailer. That's a great trailer. And you know what's cool about that one too is like so much of that is going to be in the Ahsoka show, because this is essentially like the next season of Rebels with Ahsoka. But like, man, thinking about Thrawn for the first time, I remember him coming into the show and the theme, the organs, just like, wow, absolutely phenomenal. Of course, Lars as the voice, just crushing it, doing so well. Reminded me a lot of the audiobook, which I actually think predates the show, unless I'm mistaken. I think the first Thrawn novel dropped before this season came out. Pretty confident that's the case. And it just was so phenomenal. But a lot of that other stuff, too, like the Night Sisters magic in that, right? You could see, like, the Night Sisters magic. That's going to be something that happens in Ahsoka. Thrawn, Lars himself playing Thrawn. Like, dude, we're in for a treat. All y'all are saying there's a new behind-the-scenes thing for Ahsoka. Is that true? Is that the case? Somebody link me on Twitter or what? Somebody tag me or what? Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. You said it was on IGN? They got the teaser here. Somebody link it to me, man. I don't see it. Oh, 1 hour ago, 3 minutes. Okay, I see it.
Always two there are. No more, no less. A master and an apprentice.
Star Wars always has these great master-apprentice relationships.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
It's very much the idea of apprenticeship. The need for those two groups to come together in order to pass down the knowledge and to help save the world, in the case of Star Wars.
When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
All of that wisdom gets passed down over those generations. We have Qui-Gon Jinn, who's the master of Obi-Wan, who's the master of Anakin Skywalker. And by being trained by Anakin, Ahsoka was part of that legacy as well.
Ahsoka is a character that Dave Filoni created and worked with George Lucas on in the Clone Wars.
Originally, we didn't know exactly what the Clone Wars was going to be, and there was a Jedi and there was a Padawan, and thought, we'll put them on adventures, but George had other ideas. He says, well, let's give Anakin Skywalker a Padawan. And I was like, Anakin doesn't have Padawan. And he just looked at me and said, Anakin has a Padawan. And that was basically it. That's how Ahsoka came about.
Can you imagine?
We cast
because again, just because I know a little bit about the trajectory of Dave and how he got the gig and everything like that. It's just crazy. I'm sure that was quite a moment for him of thinking this character was just going to be like this ancillary thing, just an addition to the canon, and then finding out that from the creator, oh no, that is Anakin's Padawan. And then the implications of that are probably massive. That was probably such a cool day for him to have
it's Ashley Eckstein to be the voice of the character. And she's fantastic in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
For a character that has such depth and complexity, to bring that to live action made a tremendous amount of sense.
Rosario Dawson is such an incredibly powerful actress, and she loves this character.
I'm playing someone who is an absolute expert. I really wanted to be able to physicalize that as much as possible.
There need to be a lot of lightsaber fights, and they have to be good.
There needs to be a lot of lightsaber fights, and they need to be good. Let's go.
Because our fans know the difference.
No matter how tired I was like, sign me up for some more. Sign me up for some more.
When you step into Star Wars, you are part of a legacy, and we had to uphold that history and yet do this completely new and different thing. From the beginning of this series, Ahsoka is out there on the fringe of the galaxy. When she hears whispers of this warlord's return, she decides to enlist her friends' help.
This is about preventing another war.
You know who could help?
Sabine Wren.
I'm not sure she'll want to help.
I'm telling the story about this mentor-student relationship that passes from Anakin to Ahsoka to Sabine.
There is nothing easy about being a Jedi.
It's quite extraordinary to bring this to life.
When the stakes are this high, we have to do what's right.
That's cool. So it really does seem like Dave is setting up Sabine to be the apprentice of Ahsoka. I do wonder what you guys think of that. I mean, that is different. You know what I mean? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Summing to Disney Plus just for Sabine. Okay. Where do you land on Force sensitivity? Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a second. I want to see what y'all say about it. I don't want that. I don't like it. Man, it's kind of whack. Unexpected. I like her being the apprentice, but I don't give her the Force. It would be too much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Big L. It's not what I think would happen, but I trust Dave. Okay. So yeah, it seems like there is a lot of people sort of at least raising an eyebrow to it, and I think that's absolutely the right reaction. But it's interesting because you know what I've been thinking about? It's like the way that Mando is taking Grogu, who is really more of a Jedi, and turning him into a Mandalorian. I feel like the opposite is happening with Sabine, where you will take Sabine from being a Mandalorian and bring her in under like Jedi tutelage. Okay? Now, here's like my opinion on this. I think that, like, because the question is like, does she have Force sensitivity, right? I'm gonna say she does, but my personal hope for what they're gonna do with this character would be that it's obvious that she doesn't have the same like propensity or like ability with the Force as others do. So the way I would think of it is like there's going to be some level of Force sensitivity, but it's really more like the way that Han Solo can do really crazy things in space and shoot behind his back to take people out, right? I've seen like videos of George describing that that's Han tapping into the Force, right? And so what I would like for the character is like maybe she has a little bit of Force ability, but I'd still really like her to rely on the technology and the Mandalorian part of her. So it's almost like she's able to be trained by a Jedi in the ways of the Jedi, but I would not love it if she just became super awesome with the Force and was like a Jedi. Does that make sense? Like for me, it would be kind of satisfying to see her as a Jedi, but with very little Force sensitivity and like using the technology, almost like Batman training with Jedi. That's what I would like. But I do also think, you know, because some people will be like, dude, I fucking hate that. And that's totally fair. That's your right to hate it. But so one of the things I like about Dave is that he is bold and he will do things that are risky and he pushes things forward. Like, you know, I always bring up the Purrgil and the space whales at the end of Rebels because, bro, on paper, that's a goddamn ridiculous idea, right? Like, Ezra calls the space whales in. Like, that's really weird, right? But somehow, it's executed in such a way that it feels right, and it's cool, and I didn't hate it. And at a time when I think a lot of Star Wars people, and what I mean by that is like the creators, the writers, the people, they're playing it safe. They're trying to play the old favorites and they're just leaning into nostalgia. I think Star Wars needs a breath of fresh air. And so there's a lot of stuff that I've heard about Ahsoka that feels like a breath of fresh air, including this thing that they're going to try to do with Sabine. We'll see. We'll see how it lands with people, but I mean, it definitely feels as though that's the way they're going. I mean, he says as much, you know, her now going to be the apprentice. She calls her master at one point. Wonder if that's tongue-in-cheek or if that's, like, actually going to be the way they do it. But, yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, now, are there any more Star Wars trailers that we want to watch? Because then I want to watch the MatPat video about Disney dying. And then I want to probably just get into Q&A and get into what you guys are talking about. Attack of the Clones? Oh, I'd rather not. Ezra's been talking to animals for a minute, so not so weird. I mean, yes, but dude, come on, that's weird as shit. Like the space whales saving the day, that's weird. On paper, that's weird. Mando Season 1 trailer? I don't even remember what the Mando Season 1 trailer was like. I don't remember it being great. The Rise of Skywalker D23 was fire, bro. That was a very good... Is that the one where he's like, I have been every voice? Talking to him? Andor. Pff. Agent Llama, you motherfucker. That's twice you've triggered me today. That's twice. Okay, I want to watch the Rise of Skywalker one. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it's D23? Man, I know we're kind of in the depths of bull crappery. But I love Star Wars, man. Just watch these trailers and talking about Star Wars, talking about our past experiences and everything, man. It's been cool. Good morning, Josh. You make some excellent points. I believe that she is sensitive. What we saw in Rebels when Kanan was training her how to fight with the Darksaber is just enough to get by. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to heart your comment there. But, yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's watch this, man. Oh, yeah, this trailer was great. Now, they lean on all the other movies, but still, like, this is a great trailer. I remember this. This isn't the one I was thinking of, though. Damn, dude. The feels. The feels.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
That was a hype moment. I remember that popped. That Darth Ray moment. That shit popped. But hang on. What's the one with Snoke? Because this trailer was better, bro. Where's the trailer? Oh, Snoke trailer. Is this the one? No, it's this one. I'm kind of a sucker for this fucking Sith music, bro. This shit's great.
I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
Oh, so cool. That was a moment where I remember, because I was kind of pretty low on the movie, hearing about the leaks and whatnot. And when this trailer came out, it like kind of gave me a little bit of hope. I remember it just being like, oh, shit, like that's kind of cool. You know, that Snoke thing. Oh, my gosh, like that's wild and everything like that. Yeah, I remember getting a boost and being like, yo, this could work. You know, this could work. Spoiler alert, it did not. But that's okay. Look, it's fun, man. It's fun to go back and revisit this stuff. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. SC, thanks, man. Thank you, Josh, for rewatching these trailers. Remembering my love for Star Wars with John Williams' music is truly an emotional and touches some brain connections that were forged in my childhood. Very special. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. It's tough. It's tough. And you know what I'm thinking? I kept thinking today as we were watching these trailers, because I kept having that feeling, right? I mean, the music is, we have a connection to this stuff. And then that feeling when it swells and the John Williams music's going, and you're like, you just feel something. And that feeling, if you could distill it down, I think that is the same reason that, like, when you go to Star Wars Celebration and you've got just lines and lines of people and crowds of people. And I remember going to several celebrations before, like, it got really bad just with Star Wars. And, like, for me personally, it's very tough. I mean, I'm going to try to go to the one in Japan, but it's like, it's just tough with where I'm at as a fan. But watching these trailers reminds me that the reason all of those people show up at these conventions and stand in the crowd, stand in line, make their costumes, buy their cool shirts or whatever, it literally all is because of that feeling. It all comes down to that feeling, that distilled feeling of adventure, the rising of the fire in the belly that happens with Star Wars. It's really unique, and I don't know that you get it in a lot of other franchises. And that feeling, like, it would be cool, despite everything that's happened and you know all of the bad things that are going on with Star Wars right now, if we could just remember that feeling is what brought us all here in the first place, and we could share together in sort of reverence of that feeling and appreciate that feeling together, man, things would just feel a lot different. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. And, you know, a lot of people out there say, like, you know, I love Star Wars. I'm crap, and I'm one of these people too, by the way, that I'm like, I'm crapping on this because I love it. I'm getting out here, I'm being toxic and shit because I love it. And yeah, I mean, I can absolutely relate to that. But I just wish there was a way that we could all, like, just kind of come together and be like, you know, despite everything, you know, that feeling and that connection and that adventure. Man, I love that. Do you love that? And, like, just share that together. It would be a lot more positive, you know? And I suppose it's possible that we get back to that place. I feel like Lucasfilm has done some serious damage to the fan base, to the brand, etc. But we are mere weeks away from Ahsoka. And I think, you know, my hope is that this is a turning point for Star Wars. I think for a lot of you guys, you're probably hoping that as well. Some of you guys are so far past that, you're like, no thanks, and nothing can bring me back. And that's fair as well. I do understand that. But I'm hopeful, man, that we can get back to the good shit, because Star Wars is a very special thing. I mean, it was my first love before Marvel, for sure. And just watching these trailers has sort of reminded me of that love and of what that was like in 2014, 2015, 2016. Those were special times, man. And I think really at the end of the day, most Star Wars fans want to get back to something like that and get back to a place like that. It would be very healthy for us. I think it would be great for the brand as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see very soon. But since we've been on such a high and we've been on such a love fest, can we talk about something a little negative that's driving me fucking crazy about the show? So consider everything that I just said, right? But here's the other thing that is out there that shocked me yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, the third episode of this show will clock in at 34 minutes. So we're going to go from getting 2 episodes at once, which, by the way, I'm doing a watch party. I'm staying up. I'm so excited. I feel like a kid in a candy store. My heart has grown 3 sizes. I'm really excited. We're going to go from about an hour and a half of content to 34 minutes the following week. Now, of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that episode's going to suck. And as some people pointed out to me on Twitter, and I think rightfully so, some of the best episodes of The Mandalorian were shorter episodes. The Book of Boba Fett episode is about that length, 34 minutes, and it is straight fucking fire. Okay? It's also probably the case that this episode will center around Hera and her joining up with Ahsoka. So perhaps like we're getting some New Republic stuff and it's going to be just kind of be off the beaten path, etc., etc. Fine. But I still can't help myself. I want more. Okay? I know I shouldn't. But I want more. I want more than 34 minutes. Because I don't know if I can justify doing a watch party for that the following week. Really going to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch 34 minutes? I don't think so. I'm probably going to watch it the next day. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of a bummer, man. And, by the way, even if it's dope, I think fans are still right to be able to come out and say, yeah, I wish we had more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's fair, right? I think that's fine. We should be able to say that, right? I mean, they don't have to listen, but we can come out and say it. Because goddamn do I want more. Okay. What's next on the agenda? How you guys feeling? Because I still need to get this other video. I still need to do a little bit of editing on another video. Drop that and kind of... Should we watch the MatPat? You guys want to watch his thing about Disney dying? It is pretty good. At least I've only seen like 3 minutes of it, so. All right, let's watch this. And then let's get on out of here. I'll do Q&A, but I'm going to probably fly through Q&A.
Disney Plus and films that just miss the mark, Disney is in trouble. But today, I've got the solution.
Oh shit, the solution.
The House of Mouse is looking for is right here on YouTube. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that won't charge you $27 million a year to fix your problems. How's that for cost savings there, Bob Iger? Have you noticed that a lot of movies have bombed recently?
Yes, I have.
Fast X underperformed. The Flash is looking like it'll lose $200 million to Warner Brothers, making it the biggest comic book movie bomb ever.
Oh my God, and we didn't dance on that grave enough. I mean, that is fantastic news. Of course, they just got the biggest success of their entire studio's history in Barbie, and you guys lied to me because you said it would go broke because it's woke. So now I don't know what's up and down, but we'll take our victories where we can. Fuck you, Flash.
Objectively great films like Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 1 fell short of expectations.
Yeah, that is kind of sucky because that movie's dope.
The victim of the box office bloodbath for the last 2 years has got to be our mouse-eared overlords at Walt Disney Corp. Doctor Strange 2, Thor 3, and Black Panther 2 all came in under expectations.
Yeah, it's true. And when I was watching this, I was like, yeah, but they all still did pretty good. And they did actually all do pretty good. But they did underperform. I think that's absolutely fair to point out.
The Little Mermaid vastly underperformed.
Vastly.
Both Ant-Man 3 and the new Indiana Jones were also costly losers. No one even remembers Disney's last animated feature film, Strange World, and Elemental had the lowest opening of any modern Pixar film ever. Including Lightyear, the massive bomb that was released right before it. The long and short of all of this, things are bad at the House of Mouse right now. Disney shares are at the lowest that they've been since—
Which, by the way, we talked about on Friday. There was a slight bump in the stock price after Bob Iger did the whole price increase thing, but it did bounce back sub 90, I believe, in after hours trading over the weekend. So I'm not sure where it's at right now, but like, yeah, Disney's in real trouble, man.
Since COVID hit back in March of 2020, and to turn it all around, they're considering selling off their TV businesses, spinning off ESPN, laying off thousands of employees. We are truly witnessing the death of the Disney empire happening in real time right now. But
it's true.
I think that there's a way to fix things, and the key to it all is YouTube. So grab your popcorn as I prepare to tell you a story far more compelling than anything's put out over the last few years. It's time to fix Disney in 3 easy steps. But before I help a large soulless corporation earn its millions back, won't you help our small soulful corporation here earn some thousands back? You can help do that by checking out our new line of theory wear.
They got some good merch, dude.
Just merch. These are actual clothes made specifically with you and your life in mind, designed to last for years and created to help you feel amazing.
They definitely got
These
some good
items
merch.
are
I was like,
cozy,
yo, that's
they're
wild.
comfortable, but they're also fashionable. Case in point, if you love analog horror, then no-clip your way out of the back rooms and into our hazmat puffer jacket. Never before has biohazard protection been so snuggly. Then pair that puffer with the radioactive backpack to keep all your dangerous bacteria life forms safely contained as you walk the streets.
I mean, it kind of
So if
looks
you're looking
great.
for some infrared realness, check out the Heat Map collection. Black clothing with intense pops of color. Take your pick of shorts, hoodies, work jackets, even socks. And for the fashion that's truly fire, check out the new thermo-reactive tee and mug, which can both change color as they heat up. But if
Yeah, I
all
wonder
of
like
those
what
are a bit
company
too
he
loud
worked
for your
with,
closet,
because they
check out
it
the
looks
high-res
really good.
button up. On the outside,
Like, come
it
on,
looks
man,
like
look
your
at this.
typical high-quality white shirt, but inside, the collar, inner button lining, and cuffs all have a classic Game Theory green high-tech circuit board design. Now, if only it came in red. One day, Film Theory. One day. We have all of this and more at our brand new Theoryware website, which you should go check out by clicking the link in the description below or by checking out the merch shelf just below this video. Even if you don't want to buy anything, just go check out the site. It's actually really cool with some fun surprises hidden inside of it. This year, we're just really pushing ourselves to do bigger, more interesting things in the style world, probably because we have a fashion channel now. And I think, honestly,
They got a
this
fashion
is a great
channel?
first step in that. So go
Good
check
idea.
out all the awesome new fashionable merch that we have on the website. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day we'll open up a Theorist store all to ourselves at the local mall. I hear there's
Yeah.
quite a few vacant Disney locations that could use some new tenants. Speaking of, let's talk more about that Disney dilemma, shall
Let's talk
we?
about Disney.
Basically, when you break it all down, Disney's problems largely boil down to 3 major topics: streaming, budget, and story. So let's go through them point by point, starting with streaming. One thing that everyone tends to overlook when they first start a streaming service is that you need a steady flow of content to make it work, to keep people hooked on the platform. And making content tends to be expensive.
True.
Hence the elongated merch push they just went through. But even if you thread the needle and manage to solve both of those issues, making lots of content for a relatively cheap price, it just opens a well of new issues that are more difficult to solve. Let me
True.
explain. To prevent people from bouncing off the platform, most of Disney's star studios have been relegated to content factories to feed the Disney Plus machine. In 2020, Disney held an Investor Day presentation where they had Marvel and Lucasfilm announce 10 projects each, and Pixar announced another 6. It was
Yep, this is where it all went wrong. And it's funny, too, because, look, again, I've been talking about this for probably a year plus, but the Russo brothers, man, that one interview they did where they talked about how you're going to get more Star Wars and Marvel content than you can handle in the next 10 years, that interview is proving to be so prophetic. You know what I mean?
It wasn't all streaming focused, but a whole lot of it was. In addition, the service has been flooded with Disney dipping into all its other major IPs. Live-action remakes of Peter Pan, serialized versions of High School Musical, the return of nostalgic classics like Willow, and the launch of anticipated new IP like Artemis Fowl. Disney owns some of the most beloved IP on the planet, and they've been pulling it all off the shelves to try and keep their content offering on Disney Plus robust, and most importantly, sticky, to keep all those finicky streaming audiences that are quick to cancel a subscription.
Yeah.
Despite it being difficult and and expensive to stay on that online content treadmill. At least on the surface, it looks like Disney managed to thread the needle. But in achieving that, they've actually exposed themselves to a problem that's far worse.
Is this too loud for you guys?
Brand dilution. There's no arguing that pretty much every single one of these cherished franchises has become significantly less special over the last 5 years, simply because there's just so much of them around at this point. Toy Story 4, Lightyear, Toy Story 5. You can only go to the pump so many times before the audience can smell a shameless cash grab. Going back to those Investor Day announcements, most of the Star Wars ones, they were quietly canceled.
Quietly canceled. And Children, Blood and Bone, done. Indiana Jones show, done.
Completely different Episode 9, a Boba Fett solo movie, a trilogy from Rian Johnson, another trilogy from the Game of Thrones guys. When something new from Star Wars gets announced at this point, there's little trust that it's ever going to see the light of day. And even
I mean, come on.
Less trust that it's going to be good. Andor, for instance, it was legitimately great. Seriously, it was the
Fuck you, MatPat!
Single best thing that Star Wars has produced in years. But you know why no one watched it? Because it was buried under a slew of underwhelming projects like the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, late season Mandalorian, and Episode 9. People lost trust with the brand and as a result deprioritized watching all the new stuff that was rolling out. The MCU is having the exact same issue right now. Look at this. Phase 1 had 746 minutes of content spread over 5 years. Phase 2, 757 minutes spread over 3 years. And then you had Phase 3 at 1,500 minutes spread over another 3 years. That was a pretty significant jump, but it was nothing compared to Phase 4. Thanks in part to the introduction of Disney Plus and the requirement for streaming content, Phase 4 had a staggering 3,500 minutes spread across only 2 years.
That's fucking
There's
crazy.
Been more MCU content in the last 2 years than the preceding 12 combined. A Marvel
that ain't
release
right.
used to feel like an event, like you had to see it. Nowadays, though, it's quite literally a weekly occurrence. So of course, people are going to be less excited for new installments like Secret Invasion, regardless of their quality. Don't worry, we're going to address the quality here in a second. What's worse, in their drive to Disney Plus, the mouse has lost out on a lot of money they probably didn't need to. Looking at the list of original films created and released by Disney, so many of them are going straight to Disney Plus without making any money in a theater. This year alone, across all their studios, 6 of the 14 Disney films so far have premiered directly on Disney Plus or Hulu with no additional cost. In 2022, a whopping 27 premiered on streaming and only 16 were in theaters. Now compare all that to 2018, the year before Disney Plus launched, where Disney released only 10 films total, all of which obviously went to the theaters. Not only do these
I think like
streaming
9 of them made $1 billion too.
mean that they're losing a lot of money from the theatrical window, but it becomes an even bigger issue when you combine it with our next major problem, budgeting. The budgets for so many modern blockbusters, and especially those made by Disney, are just out of control. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny cost $300 million to make. Guardians 3 and The Little Mermaid, $250 million each.
Yeah, that's too much.
Quantumania, a cool $200 million. They even spent $150 million on Haunted Mansion. Why would you...
my God, why?
You spend $150 million on a Haunted Mansion movie. And the true number is probably more like $300 million if you include the marketing for it. Even Disney's animation wing isn't safe. Both Encanto and Strange World cost somewhere between $135 and $180 million to make. Well, almost all of Pixar's latest releases put their budgets between $150 and $200 in range. Now, you might be looking at...
Oh my God, dude. Disney seems like a great way to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. If I was an investor looking to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, Disney would be a great fit.
All those numbers and thinking, wow, that's a lot, but aren't all movies super expensive? And the answer is yes, but also no. Yeah, they cost hundreds of millions of dollars, but not that many hundreds of millions of dollars. When you look at other massive blockbusters currently in theaters, most are not looking like this. Oppenheimer had a massive cast and incredible experimental filmmaking techniques, and it cost just $100 million to make.
That's
John Wick 4,
crazy.
Elaborate action sequences with top-tier stunt work and incredible set designs at multiple real-world locations. Also cost just $100 million.
No way!
Barbie is the biggest movie of the summer. It has iconic art direction, detailed fictional worlds with real sets, and A-list actors who enjoyed being there. And it was made for less than $150 million.
That is pretty wild. I mean, like, especially when you look at what Barbie has gone on to do, right? I mean, it's the most successful movie in the history of Warner Brothers. That is wild, bro.
On the animation side, the newly released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie cost $70 million. Well,
$70 million? That's fucking nuts.
and Boots, The Last Wish, and Across the Spider-Verse, and the Super Mario Brothers movie were all at about $100 million each.
Come on, Disney? What is you doing over there? Oh my God.
These are half to a third of what Disney is paying to make their movies. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that it's a lot easier to get back what you put in when you're only $70 million in the hole as opposed to $200 million. All of this begs the question of why though? Why are these movies so expensive? Well, it's complicated and it ultimately comes down to a lot of different factors. An over-reliance on CGI, a push to develop new technologies, writing that just doesn't keep budgets in mind. But one of the biggest contributors to the inflation of a movie's budget over at Disney that a lot of people don't talk about are reshoots. A reshoot is where a film brings back the cast and crew to refilm scenes that didn't work, or to film new scenes that become needed as they get into the editing process. Don't get me wrong, reshoots are a perfectly normal part of production and they can really help bring a movie together. A lot of very successful films have had reshoots. Back to the Future, E.T., Rocky, that's not the sort of stuff I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is when a movie studio sees the rough cut of a movie, gets cold feet, and then suddenly decides they basically need to start over from scratch. Probably the most famous example of this was with Zack Snyder's Justice League, but Disney, they too have been guilty of this a lot lately. Most publicly with Solo, a Star Wars story. Originally, that movie was directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the two guys behind Spider-Verse and the Lego Movie. But Disney didn't like what they saw, and so they hired Ron Howard to reshoot an estimated 80% of the movie, thereby doubling its budget to somewhere around $300 million. Now, as we all know, Solo did not do super well. It only grossed about $400 million worldwide. A number that suddenly becomes a lot less painful to look at if your original...
Yo, I know some of y'all like Solo, and that's cool. But did you guys know, fun fact about Solo, it is the only Star Wars movie that I have never watched a second time. And I've tried.
Budget was just $125 million. But all the streaming and budgeting changes in the world are going to be useless if they continue to fail at our third main point, story. So many Disney films lately have been failing at making a story that's both worth telling and that audiences want to hear.
100%.
Disney keeps hoping...
This is probably at the this is really a core part of the problem. It's also something that Iger has addressed in different investor calls and stuff like that, but it's like, of course he's going to say that, right? Story and shit,
that
right?
you can still slap a brand name onto something and it'll sell, but that just doesn't work anymore. Audiences aren't stupid. They can tell when a story is being told just because the bean counters think it's going to make money. Like, who asked for Zootopia 2, Frozen 3, Inside Out 2, Toy Story 5?
Yeah,
all of those are real movies that are happening in the near future, even though it feels like that list should be a parody. But making unnecessary sequels is just the tip of the iceberg. Disney also doesn't understand where their stories fit anymore. Look no further than The Eternals, which introduced a dozen new characters and 10,000 years of backstory into a 2-hour film. Why wasn't this a Disney Plus series that could have given the concept time to breathe? Meanwhile, they're clearly stretching out stories that don't need to be TV shows. The Obi-Wan series is a great example of this. There was a really strong core narrative there about Obi-Wan's relationship to Vader that ultimately got buried under the bloatware of side quests and subplot.
100%. And like, look, why? Like, I've been trying to say this. Like, why can't nobody listens when I say it? But fucking MatPat says it, and everybody's like, "Yes, this makes sense. Good job, well done, Film Theory. You are quite astute." I've been saying it.
And hey, wouldn't you know it, Obi-Wan was originally written to be a 2-hour film that they decided to turn into a 6-hour series. If you want a super recent example, Secret Invasion, which, man, I have no idea what Marvel was thinking on this one.
100%. God damn it. I feel like and I love Kevin Feige, okay? I simp for Kevin Feige. But I feel like San Diego Comic-Con next year, every Marvel fan should be allowed to form a single file line, walk up to this motherfucker, and slap him in his face. Because that's what he did to us with Secret Invasion. Fuck you, Feige!
This iconic storyline from the comics with an Avengers-level threat and adapt it into a spy thriller with basically no spying,
and now that I've said that, I can now understand why you guys don't respond to me sometimes and you only respond when MatPat says it. We've come full circle. I think I understand it. Okay.
Thrills and no Avengers. What should have been this amazing tentpole moment in the Avengers line of films, I mean, who doesn't love themselves a good imposter storyline, became yet another piece of wasted potential content to further dilute the MCU brand on Disney Plus. And again, here's the problem when you start dumping out a lot of content all at once just to keep us on the digital treadmill. People start to see patterns. They see the trends, the formulas that you're using. For example, why have so many big tentpole Disney releases lately had a main character becoming jaded just because they lost a loved one?
What's up with that?
Solo, Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones, Obi-Wan Kenobi, heck, even Haunted Mansion and Secret Invasion, which you probably shouldn't know because why would you ever bother to see those things? This generation of stories has seen our fictional heroes become them miserable. And let's be real, that is not something that fans want to see. We fell in love with these characters for a reason. They inspired us for a reason. Seeing them crushed under the same depression of reality that we real people face every day is not fun.
Yeah, and it's just, this is one of those things that's like, again, I think it gets kind of lost in the sauce. Like I saw a while back when Indiana Jones first came out, even like Hector Navarro was trying to make this point on Twitter, talking of Indiana Jones, and like even he got a bunch of like backlash and people being like, you just hate women. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, no, like trying to make a point here about the main character and not wanting to see all of our heroes be trash is like a good, fair point, but it gets co-opted in this like ridiculous culture war game. And I think that discourse, which happened on both sides, but that discourse was super destructive for our ability to like talk about this. It's like I saw there was another great example that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't because nobody on Twitter would get it. Fuck, I just saw this. Somebody like was making an incredibly nuanced point. I think it was about Barbie. And I was like, yeah, man, that's really what it is. But I knew as soon as I said it, like a bunch of people would be like, you hate women. And it's like, God damn it, dude. And look, honestly, guys, and I know some of you get triggered by this, but it's really the low-hanging fruit grabbers on both sides. It's like rage bait people, and it's also people that are super quick to put you in an other, they want to otherize you, call you an ist or a phobe. It's both of those groups of people who honestly are more alike each other than they are like the rest of us, and they're fucking ruining shit for the rest of us.
Sure, it might be more realistic to see a disillusioned Indiana Jones, but audiences go to the movies to escape from reality, to believe in something better, something greater, to have something to hope for and aspire to. And Disney is no longer providing those hopeful messages. So that's a lot of doom and gloom, right? Is there any way that Disney, and really the entire film industry, can fix all these issues? Well, yeah, actually. All you gotta do, treat it like a YouTube channel. What I mean to say is that they need to program their slate of movies just like you do a YouTube channel. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, loyal theorists. We spend a lot of time thinking about what theories we put up across all the different channels, with multiple weekly meetings trying to figure out what would work best where, planning out when things should go up, and what videos complement each other, all for the overall health of the business. You can't just throw up a video willy-nilly and hope everything goes well these days. No, you need to make sure that you have solid videos here and there to keep the system and your viewers happy. And everything we talked about today with Disney are things that regularly come up in our day-to-day conversations about how to run things here at Theorist. First of all, we have a quality bar that episodes just have to hit. Otherwise, they're not going to get made. Our primary metric in the success or failure of a video isn't revenue, it's actually you, the community. Could we make more money by pumping out more episodes every week? Probably. But in the process, we would burn you out, and by necessity, dilute the show as we greenlight worse and worse episodes.
Interesting,
See, in YouTube analytics, they give you a handy little chart ranking your most recent releases from 1 to 10 in terms of how well it's performing. Well, ideally, every upload you do is going to be a 1 out of 10. That's just not realistic to have that sort of expectation.
Yeah, that's
in the
not
end,
how that works.
Something is inevitably going to be a 10 out of 10. And if you're good at what you do, you know when those 9s and 10s are going to hit, and so you have to surround that low performer with stuff that you know is going to do well. Otherwise, you risk taking L after L after L, and you start making a narrative about how bad your stuff is now, how much it's fallen off, or worse, the algorithm decides that people no longer care about your channel. Apply this concept to Disney, and you immediately see what they have to do with their IP. When you have back-to-back-to-back-to-back disappointments line up, like in Marvel's recent roster, it creates a downward spiral that's pretty hard to break in the public consciousness. But if you mix in 1 or 2 goods with the bad strategically, suddenly it's much harder to craft a doom and gloom narrative. Here's an example programming lineup. Multiverse of Madness, Wakanda Forever, Guardians 3, Love and Thunder, Quantumania. That looks a lot different from what really happened, where Guardians 3 appeared at the end. The real release order gave you 4 disappointments in a row before you got a small pick-me-up with the generally well-received.
I would argue Wakanda Forever and Multiverse of Madness were not even close to Love and Thunder. I mean, I understand what he's saying from his perspective, and it's fair. It's a fair point to say, like, get some hits in there, which is actually probably why Feige moved up Deadpool 3, because he knew, like, shit, after Echo and the Marvels, we're going to have to wash that taste out of the mouth. So the point remains, right? But yes, Haunted Autumn, I have to simp for Multiverse of Madness again because it is incredible, and everybody that doesn't see that is wrong and a pleb. Okay, let's keep going.
Guardians. But if Guardians had been in the middle, the disappointments are suddenly broken up. There's a gap there. The lackluster movies on either side of it, it's just a franchise coasting along waiting for the next big event. In fact, I could make this programming lineup even better if Wakanda Forever had actually been first in the list. The mediocre performance of Wakanda actually was made significantly worse by the disappointment of Multiverse of Madness.
Hey, you shut your mouth, MatPat.
Had it come before Doctor Strange, that movie wouldn't have been saddled with all the extra scrutiny of, is Marvel losing its way? If Wakanda Forever
the point he's making is a good point, though.
Isn't good, it means it's the end of Marvel, thereby leading to a different cultural conversation around it. Release order matters when it comes to shaping the narrative around your brand, and it matters a lot. The same thing holds true for any experimental episodes. Disney needs to be making films about new IP, like Pixar's Elio, or lesser-known characters like Marvel's Moon Knight. But obviously, those projects are going to be risky, so you balance that risk out by putting them between other projects you
But see, like, this is the thing. He says, and I love this, but he's like, obviously, those projects are going to be risky. But here's the thing. I don't even think Disney realizes that. So the problem goes deeper than programming, because I don't think they even, like, I feel like they're very out of touch with what audiences actually like. So, like, for instance, I think Kevin Feige thought Moon Knight would be, like, the biggest thing ever. And I like Moon Knight. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of Moon Knight. Even the show was, like, decent. It was mid. It loses. It goes off the rails. It gets way too formulaic, but like it begins strong and it's not terrible. But Moon Knight has never had a solo run that didn't get canceled. Moon Knight has never been a character that really sold books, right? So, I just think there's a huge disconnect between, like, you know, he's saying, like, you know, these are going to be risky. I don't think Disney knows they're going to be risky. Like, do you think Lucasfilm thought that Kenobi would be risky? Do you think Lucasfilm thought Book of Boba Fett would be risky? Do you think Lucasfilm thought Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny would be risky? So, like, I hear what he's saying, but I think the problem is actually deeper.
To do well. Your Toy Story 5s, your Avengers, your Guardians. This accomplishes three things all at once. You mitigate your risk, you spread out the quote-unquote cash grabs, and you potentially find your next explosive IP. Again, let's look at film theory for an example. On this channel, we have a few relatively sure things. Our tentpole programming, analog horror, Spider-Man, nostalgic kids shows. And knowing that, we're able to put the stuff that we're not sure about between them. And then if something surprises you and it does manage to explode, bam! You have yourself a new strong subject to slot other unknowns in between.
True.
That is literally what happened to us with the Backrooms. We weren't sure how that one was going to do, and it ended up doing gangbusters, with people wanting more and more of our analysis videos while they wear their new absurdly comfortable theory wear hazmat puffer jackets. The gamble paid off, and it paid off in a big way.
You know, there's like another point that's being made here that I think is so interesting because, you know, like, look, obviously, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like I do YouTube for a living, right? Streaming in YouTube. You know, I study a lot of these guys, and like, so I study Mr. Beast quite a bit, and I remember he wanted to work with Netflix a while back, and he kept like asking them to help him. He wanted them to like allow him to program, to make content for Netflix, because he feels like he understands just content, not just YouTube, but content in general, right? And I think that it's very possible that in the next 5 to 10 years, you will see a lot of YouTubers like actually make that transition into actual programming, simply because the skill set that a great YouTuber needs to have, and like think about what he's talking about with like understanding programming and analytics and the audience and all of these different things. A lot of YouTubers, especially if they're successful, they're actually nailing and doing almost all of the things that you pay multiple people to do for a Hollywood studio. So like, I think some incredible YouTubers have the potential, not necessarily the guarantee, but the potential to be incredible filmmakers, television makers, or content creators outside of the YouTube space. Because YouTube is kind of like a boot camp for learning how to do content. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting.
But we also know that we can't release too many of those things in too quick of succession. We can't release a Backrooms theory every single week, because even though they'll do well, people will eventually stop caring if we do too much. And they'll stop coming back because we're no longer adding anything to the conversation. Does that sound familiar, Star Wars? How about you, Marvel? Can you relate? And just in general, when running a YouTube channel, you gotta know what episode ideas are gonna work best as shorts and which ones merit a full video. We don't try to take something that's clearly a short and then bloat it into a full 15-minute video, or vice versa. Just like Disney Disney shouldn't be looking at something that's clearly an hour-and-a-half movie and trying to turn it into a 10-episode miniseries just so they get more watch minutes on their streaming app. Content needs to fit where it tells the best story. Lastly, in terms of our budgeting, we have to make sure that an episode can make back the money that we're spending on making it, paying the writers and editors that are working on it, and we budget it just based on the AdSense we expect to make from that video. Anything extra that we get from brand deals or merch sales or whatever is a nice plus. It allows us to expand the team, to do more ambitious projects, but we can't budget every single video that way because eventually we're gonna lose that bet, and we can't run the business anymore. Think of our AdSense like your box office, Disney. Sure, every now and then we could do a more expensive video.
This part's really speaking to me, but it might not speak to some of you. Some of you guys are so far out, you're like, I don't fully follow what he's saying here, but like, I get it. It's pretty cool.
Something that takes a bit more time, or just invest in a passion project. That's gonna be maybe a once or twice a year thing, not an every release thing. Disney, you can't keep releasing $300 million movie after $300 million movie without knowing that you're gonna earn that back at the box office. Budget according to what you know.
Now, to be fair though, Disney actually technically doesn't rely on box office success, and I think that the future of content is, unfortunately, because a lot of tech companies are buying these studios up, a lot of that future might not rely on making money from the actual content. It's more like making money from the IP, whether that's through licenses, parks, other kind of experiences. Like Disney's pipeline is a little bit different than just needing to make money from the actual content.
You're gonna earn in the theaters. That way, all the ancillary stuff, that's all gravy. Anything you earn on top of that, boom, it's a bonus. You became that much more profitable. You know what's gonna help with that? Fixing your reshoot issue. Let me tell you, as I was researching this episode, just as someone running a media company, my jaw hit the floor when I saw how often companies like Disney are doing reshoots that majorly overhaul the movie. How are you rolling on day one without having a clear vision that the writers, directors, producers, and studio have all agreed to? At Theorist, we don't do an episode unless all of our senior creative team are on the same page about what that episode's going to be. And more importantly, when we work with brands, we require that every single stakeholder review and lock the script before shooting begins.
Wow.
That way, no one can ask for a last-minute change. We learned early that those reshoots and re-edits cost a fortune, killing our process. But by forcing everyone to get on the same page early,
look at
even
those
if
edits.
It's painful and slows the process down a bit at the beginning, it saves so much time, money, and a ton of headaches on the other, much more expensive end of the production process. All in all, in their desperate bid to try to catch up to Netflix with their streaming service, throwing money at their problems in hopes that they'll go away, Disney lost sight of what made entertainment work since the very beginning. Making what you can, making what you're good at, keeping it on budget, and telling a story that's worth telling. And if we here on YouTube can do it, they have no excuse. Or if they can't get their act together, maybe the death of Disney was ultimately for the best. But
true. I agree with that. Because the IP won't die. The IP will be valuable. Even if Disney goes bankrupt, the IP would be valuable. They would sell it or divest or get bought simply because of the IP. So, yeah, interesting video. I wonder what you guys think. What do you think? Good video? Bad video? What do you think? I thought that was pretty cool. Disney's trying to tick all the diversity boxes instead of making good stories. You know what's really interesting about that? He didn't mention that at all in his video. And I know there are a lot of people out there that think that's the biggest issue, but I just got to tell you, I've never been that guy. I've never felt like that. I mean, is some of it cringy? For sure. Is some of it a branding issue because of not just the messaging, but the way they speak to the audience? Absolutely. But I've never thought that the wokeness was the biggest problem at Disney or Hollywood in general, even with some of it getting really ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because even Indiana Jones, I mean, if you think about what he's saying in this film, if Indiana Jones wasn't a grumpy bastard and it didn't cost $300 million, I think the movie would have done much better, even if Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a girl boss the entire time. I mean, look at Barbie, guys. Like, some of this stuff is just literally not what y'all think it is. But, look, you can have your opinions. I can have my opinions. But, yeah, I tend to agree with Matt. I don't think the wokeness has... It literally is a footnote. It has nothing to do with the actual major issues, in my opinion.
hey, remember, go...
All right, lads and lasses, I felt like that was a pretty good stream. Maybe we should just do a little Q&A, finish her off today, huh? What do you say? You want to finish her off? Finish her off with some Vince Barter says, you're wrong, LMAO. Well, I mean, dude, that's what's beautiful about it. Like, you can think what you think. I can think what I think. I can, get on my live streaming channel where I actually have a platform, or on Twitter where I actually have a platform, or on my other YouTube channel of 200K plus subscribers where I actually have a platform. And you, Vince, can just keep coming into my chat and saying whatever the fuck you want. It's all good, baby. You feel me? It's all good, baby. It's all good, baby. You feel me, Vince? All right. Let's get into the Q&A. Kaved. Holy shit. Welcome to the Nerdvengers, Kaved. You are a Nerdvenger now. And then he says, and yes, this is my real name. Right on. Brandon says for $5, I've been looking forward to this. Time to listen in while I clean porta potties at work again. So hyped. God bless you. Tito Loquito, interesting name, says Blue Beetle was actually really good. Big W for the Latino community, and the movie gave me Iron Man 1 and 2 level of action. CGI was great. Love New York. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Did Blue Beetle come out already? I thought it came out this weekend. Is Blue Beetle already out? What? No way. Blue Beetle came out this weekend. Okay, so he must have seen it earlier or whatever. That's cool, man. Josiah says, happy birthday, Liam. My B-Day is the 19th, and my son will be born next month. Nerdvengers for life. Dude, that is awesome. Thanks for the love, and good luck with everything, man. Becoming a father is probably the best thing I've ever done. So, enjoy yourself. Spatial Whisper says, happy B-Day to Liam. 1 year already is crazy. That's my name, too. How do I get into the Diamond Lounge streams? Much love, bro. You got to get on the Discord, which, by the way, can I just say, I would love it if the Discord got more active. I know not a lot of you guys are on Discord or you don't know how to use it or whatever, but we've got like a massive Discord, great moderators, a ton of cool channels in there to hang out. So I'm going to suggest that y'all get on the Discord, man. I think it's a good Discord, and I think if we had more people on there that were active, it would be a thriving community, a place to kind of keep the party going after these streams. So get on over to the Discord, man. Good stuff. And that's how you would get into the Diamond Lounge. You got to get on the Discord, get one of the moderators to look at your info, and they'll know, okay, this guy's been here for 6 months, and then they'll get you into the Diamond Lounge, okay? Rosie says, we debut on Theory Stream on Saturday if the trailer was real. Oh, you debated. Okay, so yeah. I mean, it's really good, but yeah, it is a little bit of debating it, huh? Because, what was it, just too good or whatever? Amon Elivas says, happy birthday to Liam, the successor of the Nerdvengers. He also has the same birthday as Batfleck. Keep up the great work, Josh. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. Like, we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go get him shoes. We're going to go to do lunch. We're going to have a good day with him, man. It's going to be really cool. Justified says, yo, Josh, they keep getting me juiced with these trailers, and the trailers end up being better than the show. So I'm trying to stay chill. Anakin voice sounds like the line he said was in Tales. Yeah, 100%. And look, I don't blame anybody. I've tried to be very fair to people that are heartbroken about Star Wars or that hate Star Wars because, like, I'm pretty much there too. So I try to, like, have a lot of empathy. And by the way, even to Vince, if he's still here, or he probably threw the phone and, like, turned the stream off and he's all mad. Even to people that still, like, believe the wokeness is the biggest problem, I have empathy for those people. I don't think they're bad folks. I just think they're mistaken. I think they've been misled. So I try to practice as much empathy as I can because, I mean, dude, look around you. The world is fucking crazy. It's topsy-turvy, and I think we're all just trying to make sense of it. You know what I mean? I understand having trepidation. I understand wanting Ahsoka to fail. I know that's crazy, but, like, I literally understand it. I don't want it to fail. I want it to be incredible, and I want Dave Filoni to be the star that guides us, back to shore. But I do understand being so jaded and burnt that you want Ahsoka to fail. You feel me? All right, Vince. Much love. Cole Maynard says, yo, what up, Josh? My son turns 12 today, and damn, time sure flies by after you have kids. Happy big first birthday to Liam. Hey, I appreciate you, Cole. And yeah, it really does fly by, man. It is bizarre that it's been a year. Like, truly bizarre. Yeah. Appreciate the love, man. RJ Phyllis says, happy birthday, Liam. Just landed in Colorado from Philly after celebrating my mom's 75th birthday. Actually, tomorrow, same as Liam. Nerd Avengers for life. Oh, dude, that's great. 75 years. Holy cow. What a full life, huh? That's beautiful. Jonathan says, so excited for Ahsoka. I'm excited for Ahsoka too, man. And you know what else? I'm excited for Ahsoka, but I'm excited to be excited for Ahsoka. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited to be excited, baby. Let's go. Benjamin says, crank that soldier boy? Question mark? Not today, bro. Adam D says, I believe those voice lines are from an early Clone Wars episodes, just redone by Hayden. Yeah. We talked about it. I think it's from Tales, but yeah, I think it's redone by Hayden. I felt like it was great. It sounds a little different. He sounds like he's been having a few death sticks on the side, right? But it still has the same cadence. It feels like Anakin to me, you know, and that's what's most important. Wait, so Baylan knows Anakin becomes Darth Vader? Yeah. And I wonder how that'll come into play as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting that he knows that, you know? Or is that a trick from the trailer? Who knows? Vanessa says, my heart has finally thumped through every second of Star Wars trailer. This trailer is true Force Awakening. I am so excited to experience this. Nerd Avengers for life. Vanessa, I fully agree. That was a special trailer to me. I think it's going to be a special show. And then maybe after the first couple episodes, we can be like, we back. And we back, and we back, we back. Like, man, that would be so special. Colin says, how does Baylan know Anakin is Vader? Doesn't that go against canon? I don't think so. And it could be the fact that he's connected to Thrawn. I will say no more. But Thrawn figured out who Anakin was pretty quick, man. I mean, of course he did. He's like Sherlock Holmes, right? But perhaps it is the fact that he works for Thrawn. Dark Dragon X7 says, I hope they get Hayden in the Clone Wars armor. Would be awesome. That would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Whew! That would be great. I don't know. I mean, there were rumors that was going to be in Kenobi. It didn't end up being in Kenobi. Some people think it was shot for Ahsoka. That would be great. But I'm not 100% sure. Shane says, IGN posted the Ahsoka exclusive featurette. Yes, and thank you for that. We did end up watching that. It was pretty cool. Talon says, my biggest hope is that everyone is wrong, and the Inquisitor is Mara Jade. There we go, big what the fuck moment for fans, and Dave would do it for sure. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. That would be pretty cool. I know a lot of people speculate about that, and I do think that would be fantastic, especially with that movie looming, you know? Bendu Windu says, Rogue One trailer was the most hype. Yeah, we watched it. It was good. I'm not going to lie to you. It was good. Rosie says, when you are wooing Elisa next time, I want you to use the New Hope voice in the trailer. Yeah, that was a pretty fun one. Reacting as though we lived in the 70s. I hope you guys had fun with that one. I did. Locationary says, Roger 1 had a decent trailer. I think you mean Rogue One, brother. But yeah, we did watch. That's pretty cool. Aiden says, Sugar Sean about to add Aljo to the highlight reel. Wait a goddamn minute. Does anybody really think Sean is going to beat Aljo? I know people don't like Aljo, but like you can look what? Look at the body of work, dude. Like Aljo's legit, dude. Like I like Sean a lot. But after I watched his fight with Peter, I was like, man, I just don't see it. Like I feel like Aljo is going to smoke him. I could be wrong, though. I like Sean. We'll see what happens. Tyler Robinson said, even though I'm excited for Ahsoka and Star Wars has always been my number one, I'm more excited for Invincible Season 2. Hope the show is good. Yeah, I'm excited for that, too, man. And that first season was legit, right? So, yeah, I hear you, brother. I'm really excited for that, too. Lord Vader says, prequels just need some time. Revenge of the Sith is now regarded as a lot of the fan base's number 1 or number 2. Yeah, I agree with that. I have it up there too. Sequels won't ever get the love. I actually agree with you there. I actually don't think the sequels will ever get that love. Now, the one main thing that could have changed that is if they had either JJ do all of them, or Ryan do all of them, or Colin do all of them. Because the biggest difference between the prequels and the sequels is that while the prequels, especially the first two, are definitely not incredibly put together films, the story, the through line that goes through all of them, it's pretty good. And it actually shows a cohesive vision that's confident in itself, even when it's wrong, right? You got to give George credit. Like, even when he was doing shit that we were like, what the fuck? Like, he did it with confidence. And it all fit together pretty well. The sequels are not like that. It's a mess. Shit that matters a lot in this one doesn't matter in this one. And then you feel them trying to, like, bring it back. It's so inorganic. It ends up feeling really, really goofy. And I think also because they're very different takes on what Star Wars is, it feels like two brothers fighting over a toy. You know what I mean? So I don't think the sequels will ever get that same love. But I do think in maybe some time there will be a little bit less hate. There'll be a little bit less, like, venom that comes from the fans. But maybe not. We'll see. George Stice says, will flashbacks have a recasted Ahsoka or CGI? I'm not 100% sure on that. I think a younger Ahsoka is probably in the show. But I don't know for sure. Carl says, want to get mad? Watch the Fire Kenobi trailer now. The Fire Kenobi? What do you mean? Like the first Kenobi trailer? I don't want to do that. No, thank you, Carl. Mike says, good morning, Joshua. He makes some excellent points. I believe that she is force sensitive. Oh, yeah, we went over this one already. But yeah, dude, I think a little bit of force sensitivity I'm fine with, but I don't want her to be a full-on Jedi. You know what I mean? What do y'all think? Yeah, we do. Yes, you do. I'm telling you, I definitely don't. SC says, thank you, Josh, for rewatching these trailers. Remembering my love for Star Wars with John Williams' music is truly emotional and touches some brain connections that were forged in my childhood. Very special. Yeah, I agree with you. I had a great time on this stream, and I had a great time revisiting these trailers. So I'm happy that you guys had a good time as well. Rosie says, back in the day, my friends used to debate what's a worse movie, Menace or Clones. I say Menace, you say Clones. I'd love to hear your reasons. Okay, this is actually going to sound pretty wild, but Clones is actually a better movie. But I like Menace more. Clones is a better movie. It actually has a love story and a really meaningful arc for Anakin. Gets very dark and ends with, like, what is actually a very weird, tragic moment for the Jedi when they become generals of war. But I just can't get down with all the cringe shit, man. Like, the Naboo shit's just too much cringe. I mean, as good as Natalie Portman looks, it's very difficult for me to get past that cringe. Whereas the first movie is not as good. It's fucking all over the place. But I like it more. I have more fun with it, and I'm more connected to the arc of the characters. So, there you go. That's what it is. Okay, Thunder Khajiit says, all roads lead to Jake Skywalker and undoing Anakin's sacrifice. I have a hard time getting hyped anymore. Much love, buddy. Yeah, I can't blame you. Legitimately. I can't blame you. All I could say is that if it'll never get there for you again, I hope that you can still enjoy the stuff that you used to love. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be some stuff in the future that give you those feelings again. That's the best we can do. That's the most we can hope for. The real Jesse Lee Reed says, according to Kanan, everyone has some level of Force sensitivity, but most people are too distracted to notice. Maybe over 10 years, Ahsoka has taught Sabine how to meditate her way into feeling it more. I think there is wiggle room there. I think there is some capacity that is available to Sabine, regardless of midichlorian count, etc. I do think there's some level there. What I don't want, though, is for that character to just become another Jedi. And the Mandalorian aspects of her are so interesting. And so I'm hoping for like a reverse Grogu. And I'm hoping that it's a satisfying exploration. We'll see. But yeah, you're absolutely onto something there. That could be the case. Axid says, it's probably the wrong time to be making Sabine her apprentice. It's going to go in the too many women protagonists gripe. You know, frankly, this show was probably always going to have to face that kind of criticism. And the real tragedy is that it's not Dave's fault that we have Grand Admiral Holdo or Rose Tico or Reva or weird lady who uppercuts the stormtroopers in Kenobi, or on and on and on. It's not Dave's fault that Disney has flooded their shit with bogus female characters that don't earn the fan love, period. Because a lot of the female characters in his show are done the right way. You know, several weeks ago, we had Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers on Nerd Theory, only briefly, right? And I asked him before he went back to his stream, I said, you know, how are you feeling about Ahsoka? Because unless I'm mistaken, I think that Ahsoka was your favorite Star Wars character. And how many of you were there for that, by the way? I was thinking about like clipping it out and putting it into my Ahsoka video. But Jeremy literally said, yeah, Ahsoka is my favorite character, a female character that started out annoying, that was actually given story and was developed the right way by Dave Filoni. So I was so glad that he gave that answer, because I think it kind of breaks through some of the narrative goobly glob and maybe some of the, wrestling-esque kind of hyperbole that a lot of people on his side use, including him. And he kind of just broke it down like the perfect way. And that's the thing, is that like Dave did it the right way. I mean, even Jeremy agrees. He did it the right way. And the characters that Dave did this to are now having to bear the shame of people like Joby Harold. People like Rian Johnson. And that's a shame. You know what I mean? Like, that really is a shame. So I felt like that was kind of a cool moment. Kind of speaks to that issue. Nick says, Nerd Theory tonight. I believe so, sir. Cody Moody says, Jonathan Williams is the best movie composer ever. Star Wars alone. You can hear the first horn hit and you just know it's Star Wars. Plus, he has so many other great attacks. I mean, yeah, he's the GOAT. You know, I like, what's the other guy's name that, Elfman. I like Danny Elfman quite a bit, dude. And there's some other really, really great people. And I think, what's his face? Ludwig Göransson has a shot at eventually being up there as well at the end of his career. But I mean, John Williams is the GOAT, man. There's nobody. I mean, it's John Williams. John Williams, the GOAT. Kendall says, only concern for Ahsoka is the visuals. For some reason, it looks bright. Prosthetic. It looks bright. Prosthetics are a little mid. Just the visual vibe doesn't match in the trailer. I'll say this, man. When I saw the first trailer, it was a big concern for me. Some of the more recent trailers have proven to me that, like, in my opinion, what's happening is marketing is getting stuff that's like months and months old. Dave's probably spending a lot of time like color correcting and like making sure things are perfect in post, and the marketing team is just behind that a little bit. I mean, you can see it a lot in the first trailer versus the most recent, like a lot. So I think it's there. The question is how much of that's actually going to show up in the actual show. Who knows for sure? But I hear you. Gray Jedi Serena says, excited about Ahsoka. Hope you are doing well. Well, thank you so much. I am doing well. I've had a good time on stream today, and excited for Liam's birthday tomorrow. So it's going to be good times. Thank you, and I'm excited for Ahsoka too. Kevin says, MatPat brought up some interesting points, but they also have problems in the parks making money. Things like Galactic Star Cruiser didn't help much. Yeah, well, I think particularly because he is so focused on the film aspect of it, and it's on the Film Theory channel, I think that that's where his focus lies. I mean, the truth about Disney is it's way more complicated than that. But it's still a good video. And I still think it explains a lot of the issues that they're facing. Matthew K says, can you ever see Netflix or Disney Plus putting up streaming content? I think it's an obvious move with no downsides. Yeah, we'll see, man. What a novel idea. John's Honest Take says, here's the thing. There are a lot of issues going on with Disney. Feeding into the agenda is one of many. They hire people like the new Snow White actress. But was Renee Zellweger not in other incredibly successful things? Like, I think here's the thing. The new Snow White movie is going to bomb. And it's going to do horribly. And Renee is very cringe. And a lot of the stuff that she's saying is like, if there was good PR, like here's one of the problems, right? There's no good PR person that's going to pull her to the side and be like, you know, Renee, irrespective of your personal feelings, you probably don't want to shit on the legacy of like the dude named Walt Disney. Rochelle, wait, is it Rochelle? Renee? Who gives a shit? You know who I'm talking about. Like real talk. Like, and I'm not like, that's the problem is like, nobody's going to pull her to the side. Is it Rachel? Rochelle? Rachel? Zellweger. Ziegler. Rachel Ziegler. The fucking point is, chat, that nobody's just gonna like be a normal fucking person and pull her to the side and be like, yo, you know what? You kind of got a point. Maybe don't fucking say it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the normal person that's like, listen, Mrs. Zellweger, totally get it. You go, girl. But shut the fuck up when you're working for this corporation talking about the literal founder at a time when our stock price is at an incredibly low point. Like, this isn't about you, lady. And that, by the way, has nothing to do with politics. But everybody's so afraid to be seen as a bad guy. Like, that's not even mean. Like, that should just be common sense. But I don't even think it's political. I don't even think it's political. It's just called tact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ivan, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. But yeah, no, I hear you, John. The second son says, I just want to say happy B-Day to Liam, happy B-Day to Trev, and my 21st birthday is on the 17th. Couldn't ask for a greater community for the Emperor. Aw, hell yeah. Aw, hell yeah, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Mandalore says, how do you get into the Discord? Also, Multiverse of Madness sucked. Ha ha ha, JK. Well, now I'm not going to tell you. But no, you can get into it. Can somebody get him into the Discord, please? Dirt Wizard says, happy B-Day to Liam. Welcome to the August birthday club, little man. Hell yeah. Tony Stank says, Josh, what do you think about this alternate timeline IRL talk? You buy into the predictive programming and the MCU plays a hand in all that? Wait, what? What do you think about this alternate timeline IRL talk? You buy into the predictive programming and think MCU plays a hand in all that? Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You know? I respect the fucking name. I respect the $5 you just gave me, but I got no idea what you're talking about, brother. You're gonna have to Explain it to me like I'm 5. PJ says, late AF, showing some love and starting from the beginning now. Much love, man. Appreciate you. Dirt Wizard says, I think the biggest problem with Hollywood and a lot of companies is how out of touch they are. They have lost the pulse of their customers for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the biggest problem. But see, like, here's the thing. And I see some of you guys being like, but that's the whole get woke, go broke thing. It's like, no, it's not. And I know that's a nuanced discussion, which is not sexy on the internet, and it's way cooler to shout very fun phrases and feel like we're right. I get it. I understand it. I make clickbait for a living. You think I don't fucking understand it? But what I'm telling you is, it's not that simple. It's a nuanced conversation. And by making it political, and by making it divisive, and by making it this tribal culture war battleground, you allow people close to Miss Zellweger to not be able to tell her the straight fucking facts, because they're then going to be perceived as alt-right. Please, for the love of God, can we stop doing that? Please? Yeah, you know, Renee. You know who I'm talking about. Okay. Anoni Berlin says, happy birthday to Liam, dude. You are in for the ride this next year. My son is almost 2 and he's nuts. Oh, bro. Trust me, he's already nuts. Love watching you in theory, man. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Abby Cub says, Josh, sorry to ask you to do this, but can you please give me a quick breakdown of why you hate Solo so much? Just want to know. Sure, I'll give you the TLDR. It feels like a checklist of nostalgia memorabilia for the Han Solo character. The moment where they give him his name because he's on his own, I wanted to like throw up. It's so goddamn bad. On top of that, because they remade the movie and they color correct everything to try to fit together, they like suck all of the saturation on it. So every single planet that you're in with Solo feels like a big mud pile, dire, dark, horrible place. On top of that, Thandie Newton and the family thing that was going on with What's-His-Butt was actually incredibly interesting. And then that plot line is just done. She's dead, and then he's moving on looking for treasure. It feels so... It's just... I just really don't like it. It doesn't feel like Star Wars, and I feel like it's a pretty shitty movie. That's what it is. TLDR. Renee says, happy B-Day to Baby Venger. Liam from Baby Venger Henry Ezra. Oh, that's a great name, man. I hope you're doing well on the home front, Renee. Appreciate you, brother. Your name's actually Renee, by the way. Expo City says, happy B-Day to Liam. Is there a reason why Star Wars doesn't get as many leaks as Marvel or DC? Yes. It's because they don't screen things as much. Is it because scoopers don't care as much, or because they are better at keeping secrets? They are better at keeping secrets, and they don't screen things as much. So because of the Marvel formula and the fact that they go into projects without a finished script and like make it up as they go, and then oftentimes screen it, and audiences are like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, and then they have to like change it all around. That just allows a lot more people to be privy to what's going on in the film way before release. So it's the screenings. And Marvel has tried to tighten this up a little bit. They're trying to not invite as many friends and family to it. I don't know if that's going to work, but yeah, that's what it is. Clone Wars show helped me love the prequels more. Hell yeah, brother. I agree with that. Logan says, what's your ranking of Star Wars, Disney Star Wars content? In my opinion, the best is Rogue One, Mando Season 2, Tales, Clone Wars, 7, Mando 1, TFA, Praying Ahsoka is top 3. Bro, that's a great list. I 100% agree. Ivan, again, welcome. Matthew K says, LOL, my bad. Meant to say live streaming content. Wait, what? Oh, no, I got that one, dude. I get that one. That's cool. I get it. I understand it. Okay, everybody. Did the chat freeze or something? What's going on? Are we still live? Chat? Hello? Are we still live? Hello? Chat? Hello? Are we still live here? Hello? Okay. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Hopefully, we'll have a Nerd Theory stream later today. Big Marvel video I'm also going to drop for you guys later this afternoon. Yeah, man. Just thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the community. If you're not a Nerdventure member, highly recommend it. Got a good community over here, and we do a lot of cool streams behind the scenes and fun stuff for the members, and it's a great way to support the content. I appreciate you guys. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Shit. Felt like that was a pretty good one. I feel like we've been having some pretty good streams. And look, we're going to keep on having them multiple times a week for your entertainment and viewing pleasure. We're going to keep on doing our thing. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the subscribes. I appreciate all the questions about the next 40K video because I'd love to make it, but there's a lot of stuff. I'm really busy. I'm sorry. We're going to do it and we get another... I appreciate you. Make sure to open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butts. I'll see you later.